recording voice.
Yeah, especially if you're like a little bit riled about something. I totally get that. We're live now, by the way.
Oh, snap.
So I'm going to go on Discord, and I'm going to let everybody know. If you want to go on Discord and like pop into various channels and say, hey, we are live here,
okay,
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And then I figure we can shoot the shit for a little bit while people join.
What's up, Copy Squad?
Yeah, pretty
Here,
much.
On Discord, send me the live link from YouTube, and I'll just forward it to my group.
Good call. Let me do that.
Discord just told me to update my username. We're asking everyone to update your username.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a tech upgrade.
I'll do this later.
Sounds gourd. I'm gonna enable auto stop. Oh, I'm also going to monetize this. Gotta monetize it. Hello. We're gonna put out an announcement about this momentarily.
Hey, we got someone already. What up, Miriam?
Hello.
Is that Miriam with the E? Miriam.
Hey. Got one viewer. Oh, and then hold up. Monetization. On.
So today I'm in Baltimore. My name's Kyle.
And my name's Sean.
So I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to make people sit here and watch us talk about clicking on the screen.
Yes, I do. That's the content that people want.
This is what the people want.
Exactly.
You smoke cigars?
I do not.
Does smoke bother you?
No. Do you plan on smoking inside my house?
No. Not ridiculous.
All right. But then, yeah, you're fine.
So last night, there's a cigar bar across the street from the Pendry, and a bunch of dudes went across the street. It's not a cigar bar, it's a cigar shop. And they bought some cigars, and you can kind of tell when someone doesn't actually smoke cigars.
Oh, yeah.
By the way their cigar is either burning, the brand that they selected. They just grab like the biggest fat daddy cigar, like so they can have like this giant super cigar, like a big boss. And it's interesting, like what you pick up whenever you like do something often enough, and it becomes like, I don't want to call it second nature, but it becomes like a part of like your sort of real hobbies, your actual hobbies. Sort of like if you're a dancer, you can spot someone with shit footwork, and you're like, oh, that. Or when you're a climber, you can tell like someone's climbing with their arms and not their legs. That kind of shit.
Copywriters make. It'll be casual. We're going to chat copywriting, the biggest mistakes new copywriters make, and what else? What else are we talking about today?
Sex and drugs.
And of course, sex and drugs, but no rock and roll.
Hey, what's your Discord name?
Well, if you are on the Discord, you probably just got a ping from me.
Yeah, it's Eolithic or something, right?
I wouldn't put that out into the world, but yes, it is Eolithic something.
Oh, never mind. I don't think you're in my Discord. I don't think I can tag you, so I'll just put with copy that.
Okay.
I'll put Sean. I'll just write your name.
I need to get into your Discord, man, and you need to get into mine. I think everybody would love to have you. Actually, straight up, the other day, somebody was asking like who some of my favorite like modern copywriters were, and I said I am totally biased, but Kyle Milligan. And then I said, but like above Kyle Milligan is David Deutsch.
Oh, I gotta get David Deutsch in.
Yeah.
I need David to do. I'm sure he's got classes or little master class. You've done a master class. Alex did a master class for us at the Copy Squad. So like, I need to get Deutsch in there to do something about copy.
So get him to do either bullets or get him to do either like dimensionalization or something like that, because he, in terms of writing copy at the sentence level, like that, not the macro, the micro, I don't think there's anybody better who's working today.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he still writing a lot?
Yeah. He actually recently started getting back into brand copy. He's working with a really big multi-billion-dollar multinational company.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's another level.
That's something I was actually talking to someone yesterday about, like, someone just started writing copy for some, like you said, like a brand or something that's out there, like maybe something that's like in the universe that people know about, not just like a low-key like direct response company that's under the radar or whatever. And I was like, I don't even know if I would, like, would I have the balls to write for something outside of that sphere of like that classic financial publishing direct response thing? Because like I'm good at that.
Yeah.
And I've made it a point to be like the sharpest point at the pencil tip, like best in class. And it's like to go anywhere else, the formula all of a sudden, will my formula still work? Would I falter? Would I lose a lot of my bag of tricks that I know how to use in financial with charts and language and legal? And I have to start from scratch in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So I envy people like Deutsch that can just be like, I'm just going to write for a brand.
I found that because ever since I started at Agora, I've had an entrepreneurial streak. And so I've written copy for tutoring businesses. I've written copy for candle makers. I've written copy for service businesses, for all sorts of different stuff.
Mm.
And what I found is that the strategies and principles remain the same, but the tactics have to change.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like, there are, like the way that one does price anchoring, for example, from one business to another, it might not work. Or the way somebody has like, or sprinkles urgency in at the end in an offer, it might not work for like a house painter. You know what I mean?
I think for that, that's where I love, because there is definitely a tactical change that needs to be made. But I think it's almost just repeating back to you what you just said, like the strategy of it. You have to be smooth. Like you can't be this in your face. This paint deal expires in 24 hours. Yeah. You will never get white paint at this price again. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
But you can say something like, hey man, just saw rain's coming this Friday. Like,
Yeah.
And so we wanted to get as much white paint off our shelves now as possible.
Yeah.
Like, boom, something subtle and smooth that triggers a reason. Like, oh, why now? It can be something
subtle.
And the thing is, it just has to be a reason. Just like that because experiment with the Xerox machine.
Yes. Yeah. So that's from Robert Cialdini's Influence, where he talks about how it doesn't really matter much like what the reason is, so long as you provide a reason for any type of persuasion that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I made up a test in my head just now. It's the spouse test. If your spouse would give you a reason and you'd be like, the fuck? Like, it's like, what does that matter? Because I feel like I've been in this situation, like with a girl on a date with a girlfriend or something like that. And she'll say like, well, we got you because, and she'll give like one of those, like, because I need to make copies. And it's like, what? It's not a real reason.
I was on a date with another guy because I had to make some copies.
Yeah. Because it was Wednesday, and on Wednesday there's the train comes at 7, and it's like
it's almost a Flight of the Conchords reference.
I don't know what that means.
Have you never seen the Flight of the Conchords?
No.
It is some nerdy shit, and I don't know if you would like it.
I'm not a fucking nerd, Sean. I'm not a fucking nerd.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm in Baltimore, and the reason I'm in Baltimore is because at this event, it was called Media Meets Markets, and basically, it was all these like bankers and investment like big shots trying to get people to invest in their resources deals like nickel, copper, silver, gold, and they had these huge like 45-minute pitch decks and charts and all that, and so they invite me on stage after each presentation. I'm to basically discern where's there a story arc or a narrative, or where's a big idea, where's something that a copywriter who wants to reach a retail investor, what should they be saying? All these people were horrific at reaching retail investors. And they were using jargon and charts and just like numbers galore.
Logical appeals.
And I remember like after it was all said and done, and I could like without exaggeration, like all these old like billionaire white guys were like running up to me afterwards like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. Like we take it for granted inside the copy space that you got to speak to the reader. Mm-hmm. And there was like, wow, those were such, I've never thought to say it like that, or tell a story about something, or give them like or tell them that they could make money off of this. Instead, they just put the projections for the future growth of this mining. Like right now, gold is at this strike price, but they have this much that they can excavate per day, and there's also like another 800 tons that they're trying to access now. Like it's just, So I remember like I had one dude walk up, give me his card, and he was like, dude, I loved like you were just like putting these old like gold guru fat cats who've been in the game for decades, like in their place. And I was like, I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to put anybody in their place. He's like, no, dude. He's like, and you walked up there, like, what the fuck is? You just had like your chest hair and your flower shirt. Like this guy doesn't give a fuck. I fucking love this guy. But anyway, all that to say,
yeah,
I'm not a fucking nerd. All right. As a matter of fact, I was just at an event where I was the antithesis, where I could be the dude who like came in and like be cool while all these dudes in suits and ties were like giving these super chart oriented, numbers driven data presentations. And so then I just roll up with like my ripped jeans and my flower shirt. And I'm like, shit was boring, bro. Where's the story?
So, but here's the thing. I am a nerd. And I basically would have said the same fucking thing. And you know that I've said similar things to people in the past.
You wouldn't have said it like I said.
I would not have said it like you said it. I probably would have been nicer. That was, compliment sandwich. That was great, but
I told like a VP of like Canaccord, which is like one of the biggest banks in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, your presentation was a lot like trying to sell like family friendly pornography. I was like, you're trying to reach this investor with like this message. These guys believe one thing and these guys believe another thing. It's like, if people want to watch porn, they don't want it to be Disneyfied. Yeah. Like, you sell to Disney people or you sell to hardcore porn people?
Rule 34, though.
Yeah.
Do you know Rule 34? Dude doesn't know Rule 34. He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
That's a 3 seashells.
It's a Demolition Man reference.
What the fuck is that?
Have you never seen Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes? It's a terrible movie.
Who has time?
So, me, apparently. But I lost the pot. What even were we talking about?
Rule 34, man.
Rule 34. The Rule 34 basically states that if you can imagine it, there's porn of it on the internet. Hence Disney porn. Mm. Yeah. So, XX, you got it, man. Well done.
There's porn.
Yeah. So hello, everybody, hello. We're 12 minutes in. I guess I should probably greet you. Hi, Sean. Hi, Kyle. Hello.
Hello.
We are drinking some rum, some nice Abuelo, age 12 year. We are going to chat a little bit about copywriting. I'm going to switch spots with him.
You don't have to. This is fine.
No, dude. I promised you. So
Rule 12, promise.
There you go. So here's how this is going to work today. We're going to do a sort of like hard reset. And the way this stream is going to work is we'll take the first half and we're going to talk about something. And we'll do like a sort of freewheeling conversation about it. And then my video editor, Noah, I love you. Thank you. Will find the juicy bits and like truncate that down into something that is good for the YouTube algorithm. And then we're going to change the topic about halfway through the stream, and we're going to do a hard reset, and we're going to talk about something, and that's going to go on to Kyle's channel. And do you want to do a plug for your channel?
My channel is Copy Squad, and go subscribe to that, and I guess that's how you do a plug.
Cody says hello.
What's it? Don't... Get back to fucking work, Cody.
Well, it's like 4:30 on a Friday, dude.
Right. He's still got at least another 3 hours of shit to do.
Oh, snap, Cody. Tisk. Let me flip seats with you so that you can be in the captain's chair. And then we'll do like the hard reset and like everything that I just said that we were going to do.
Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to say when we were doing the plug. This is what I was going to say. What we're going to do, because I just rolled up to Sean's house. I didn't know what exactly was going to go down. So I didn't have anything prepared. So that's sort of my bad, but sort of also I'm excusing myself. But so what you could do is if there's a topic, please do engage and like ask questions. And what we could do is we could open loop one of those questions and be like, this is one we're going to answer on the next section. And so that way,
yeah,
I'll have something to talk about.
And because I'm money grubbing and greedy, if you have a question that is off topic, make sure to send that question with either a super thanks or a super like or the one that gives us money. And then I'm going to use that money to take him and get him drunk tonight. You know, who knows what's going to happen? It'll be crazy. And so if you have a very specific question about a very specific topic, $1. There you go.
I almost fucking lost it. This chair just falls like free.
I know, no, it's you're almost like weightless.
Right.
So, why don't we do that hard reset? Unless you have any other like random stuff to complain about, or like stuff that you've noticed on your trip here that you want to talk about, sort of freewheeling.
When I never complained.
Okay, gripes.
My gripes.
Friction points.
It is really hot in this room.
Did I not warn you?
It's hotter than I expected.
There you go.
All right.
It's May. It really is May.
So you said we're going to do a hard reset.
Okay,
so
hard reset.
When we hard reset, does that mean we're going to do like a fresh intro and everything? And then we're going to... Yeah. So I should have like a more reasonable plug. And then we're going to go into a topic that you already had prepared.
Yes.
All right.
So the topic that I had prepared is the mistakes that new copywriters are making at the beginning, the onset of their career, that prevents them from getting clients.
Oh, I got stuff for that.
I know you do. So hello, everybody. Everybody, hello. Welcome to a special episode of Copy That with, you guessed it, me, Sean MacIntyre, but also somebody else you might know, Kyle Milligan. Say hello.
What's up, Copy Squad? It's your boy, Kyle Milligan of Copy Squad.
So today, in this particular episode of whatever it is that we're doing here, we are going to talk about the big mistakes that copywriters make when they're just starting out, especially the mistakes that prevent them from getting their first or even follow-up clients. I know that Kyle has a lot to say about this, but we are going to do this as a two-parter. And so if you want the follow-up to this particular episode of Copy That, you can go see it at Kyle Milligan's channel at
Copy Squad.
So you would YouTube search for Copy Squad. And unlike Copy That, nothing else comes up for that. He's at the top of the rank, where if you search for Copy That, you might get like 5 different things because we're bad marketers, apparently. Anyway, so why don't we just jump into this question? Because we already, in the pre-show, the fake open of the show, we were just sort of talking, and I noticed this question. I'm struggling getting my first couple of clients. Any advice? And I had this topic for this particular opening, this particular episode, before we, how should I say, turned the camera on. And lo and behold, one of the first questions that we got was, how do I get my first client? Because that's always the first question that he or I get whenever we do anything live, because that's something that everybody wants to know. Nobody bothers to like search for all the videos where we answered that question before, though. It's kind of funny how that works.
No, 200 views, top, no more.
Yeah, same thing here, where it's like Copy That will give like, here's a breakdown of like 5 different ways to like get your first client, and that one got like 370 views or something like that.
If I had a big peeve, it's that I can launch right into this. Credibility, man. Credibility. So do you have any credibility? Like, did you want to start with like a point that you wanted to lay down the hammer first and be like, I feel like you already had an impassioned sort of position you wanted to go after?
I do, but since you just got started on it, I'm going to simply say that one of the biggest problems that a lot of new copywriters have is a lack of credibility. Floor is yours.
Credibility, man. Like a lot of it is, are you any good at your job? Right? Like a lot of people have, I remember when I first wrote Take Their Money, like one of the earliest questions I got about the book before people started reading it and talking about it and saying like, here's what's inside. They're like, if I read this book, I remember I got this question and it's the epitome of the question. If I read it, I got it on like a Friday. If I read your book this weekend, can I charge $5,000 for a retainer on Monday? And I was like, I don't know you. I don't know if you even, I don't know what you could charge for. I don't know if you know how to write copy. Like, do you have any credibility in the copy space, or is it legitimately the first time you picked up a book written by a copywriter and said, all right, I want to stop. I don't like my boss anymore. I want to work from home and I want to charge my own worth. Slay king and queen. Like, it starts with credibility, man. Like, have you ever sold anything? I have like a 40-minute rant on my channel where I talk about how I would, if I had no job or experience or whatever, how I would do it. It's like the question everybody always asks, always starts with credibility. And I drew out this like bell curve or this mountain sort of curve. And I was like, start the long tail, serving a small audience and get some credibility, get some wins.
Yeah. One of the pieces of advice that Copy That often gives is get on Upwork or Fiverr and like take jobs that you think might be beneath you, but that you can just knock out of the fucking park so that you can, one, get your first dollar. People are so obsessed with getting 10K per month. They don't ever think about like, dude, you haven't even earned $1 from this.
Earned $1. You ain't owed shit because you read a book, bruh. Like, that's like my biggest fucking peeve with this space. I earned $1.
Yes. Focus on earning your first dollar. Don't focus on like the dream that you have of earning a 10K per month thing. You knocked me off my stride, man. Like I had another thing to say to follow up with that, but that's neither here nor there. Like take those smaller, like lesser paying jobs so that you can get testimonials, so that you can like say like, you know, I have my spec pieces that I showed to get those jobs, but then I also did the work. And now that gets added to your portfolio too. And you have the testimonial, and you have proof that you are an earning copywriter, and you have a business that like gave you some sort of feedback on your work so that you can parlay that into your next job. Think of things like a snowball. Snowball starts small, and then you pick up one thing, you pick up another thing, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's how my career was. That's how his career was. It works that way.
Yeah. I actually wrote an email today. I don't know if Alexander's on. Alexander, are you on? Did our email go out? I wrote an email today about confidence. And the confidence analogy was about the when I talk about confidence, I'm also talking about insecurity. I'm also talking about vulnerability. And in that email today, which I don't think has gone out yet, it's going to talk about the idea of like the reason you fuck shit up and one of the reasons why you fail with clients. There's Alexander, not yet. All right, cool. Well, send it out. Everyone subscribe to the email list.
Where can they sign up to the email list?
Just go to copysquad.net/4triggers.
Here, watch out. So I actually think I have a banner for this. So, and I don't think we deleted yours.
Well, you might want to go back to like this. Click that. Oh, yeah, all of them are an example banners, huh?
Here. So
create a banner, fool. You have these really lifted keys, man.
Yeah, it's a mechanical keyboard because I'm a nerd.
I don't know what that means.
Wait,
I typed live? What am I doing that for? All right, that was just like habit. All right, cool. So anyway, sign up the email list to get the email. But the point of the conversation that I had in the email today was that the reason you're insecure and you fuck shit up with clients is because you don't have reps and you don't have experience and you haven't begun to accumulate that snowball that Sean is referring to, where you are so scared to put yourself out there and get rejected that you never get rejected. So you never get to the other side of rejection. You never get to the end. Like you self-sabotage. So one of the points that I was going to bring up, like I said, I had something for this topic of why you can't get clients, has to do with, and this is kind of, it's like a cliche thing to say, is like mindset. So I had a guy, and when I say I had a guy, I mean, I have a Discord too. So I have like dozens of new copywriters that sort of stick out. Alexander, don't slack on the pimp.
So Rod is one of the 4 owners of Copy That. So Rod could actually join this stream if he wanted to. But yeah, I think he's just kicking ass in Portland right now. So Rod, of the 4 of us, is the brand copywriter, and he started out as a direct response freelancer. He was doing a political writing, and then he got a job at one of the biggest brand advertising agencies in America. And he's basically doing strategy for one of the biggest brands that you have heard of.
Pepsi?
No, but similar size. And so he's really cool. I think Rod is going to be in this seat in July, and we'll do a similar thing.
So, but like one of the things that people mess up is this mindset game. And so I have seen stories now. I've seen this several times happen inside my Discord community. It's like one of those things like I forgot I had to tell people this stuff because it's more about like client relations, which is actually more of like an internal. I think it's cliche, the mindset conversation, like just talk about, oh, you gotta have this mindset. But oh my God, if your mindset's not right, a lot of other stuff doesn't even matter. Like it's frustratingly like aggravating to see some of the stuff sent in. Like I'll see a question like sent in the project, client hasn't paid, should I follow up? And then a screenshot. And the screenshot will be like 3 texts to the client's phone saying like, hey, submitted. And then like 20 minutes later, hey, are you going to pay today? And then like 2 hours later, hello, question mark. And I'm like, motherfucker, this is a business exchange. This is a fucking, you're a business now, and he's a business. So I had to, here's the way I'm going to break it down that I think will make it very clear for you to understand your place whenever you're doing these ridiculous sort of exchanges. Also, don't be like the word you, spell it. Don't be like you gonna pay, question mark. That's real shit. I've seen it. That's why you're not getting clients. So listen, here's the other thing.
Can I talk about that for a second?
Can you bookmark it or I'll forget my thing?
All right.
Think of it like this. This is a business to business deal. You don't understand the other agent. You don't understand the person you're dealing with. I take almost everything in my life and relate it to dating. So it's like you're like trying to talk to a girl at the bar about your dude shit that she doesn't care about, right? You don't understand how to talk to her. You have to understand your market. When you're a copywriter, you got to understand your market. You're talking to a business. This person is operating as an agent of a business. You have to understand their dynamic sphere, their life, and everything that's happening, and their responsibilities and everything that they got to deal with. So let me put it this way. This business, when you roll up like, hey, here's my PayPal, send me some money, blah, 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 blah. What he's operating in at that moment in time is a plan, which might probably, if you ever worked in a business, is behind schedule, that he was reminded of on his stand-up meeting on Monday, should have been done last Monday. And that he's going to follow through on that plan for that week until it's completed, because that's his priority for this week. That plan that they talked about in the stand-up on Monday, that is their monthly part. It's part 1 or 2 of their monthly objective for the business to reach a monthly target. That fucking target was set last quarter. And they said, this is where we need to be by December. And you rolled up saying, you gonna pay, question mark, hello, question mark. Do you realize what an insignificant ant you are in that business's blueprint? All right. And you're losing clients because you're out of pocket. You're out of pocket. You're acting whack. And that person's not going to come back to you because they're going to smell it on you. They're going to see you don't know. And I'd go right back to the dating example. Like if you're talking to, I'm always going to, dudes talking to girls, if the girl knows like you don't know or have any fucking confidence, experience, if you're going to be a bad time, if you're going to be a needy little bitch, if you're going to fucking blow up her phone, if you're going to be a dude who is quick to anger, if you're a dude who's not emotionally stable or emotionally intelligent, they're going to smell that shit. They're going to pull it out of you. And as soon as you display that, all right, so the version of that is sending a text message with the word you spelled with the letter U. Don't do that shit, dude. You're showing your hand. You're fessing up to a crime. You're telling on yourself. You're saying, I don't deserve to be in this room with you because the person you're talking to is the agent of a business, and they're trying to they want you to win. They're inviting you into their house, and they want to see you succeed, and you're fucking it up. So I can talk about copy all day. But like for real, this mindset thing, And the reason because it's happened too many times like this month in my Discord.
Oh yeah.
Or my DMs on the Discord where I'm like, are you seriously still doing this shit?
Yeah.
Like you can't be doing that.
Do you ever get the text messages where it's like they'll screenshot like a text message exchange and they'll be like, how do I proceed?
Yeah, I get those all the
time.
time.
I get those all the fucking time. So simmer down, take a sip of your Diet Coke, and then I'll take over from here. I need you to be my anger translator, dude. So real quick, everything Kyle is talking about is all about understanding the context in which, here, top me off too.
I was just gonna pour it on my head because it's 110 degrees.
It's so hot.
It's so fucking hot.
I don't reveal this on stream very much, but like I can't run an AC in here when we're streaming because the mic will pick up the noise. And so, you know, I just have these two lights glaring, you know, the sun is beating down on the windows. I have this computer that's like whirring because so you're dressed for the occasion.
I shouldn't have wore a collar. I should just chop this shit off. It's holding all the heat.
Yeah. I have like, you know, I'm not going to say it.
What?
I was going to say I have like a fishnet top if you want to borrow it. Yeah, there you go.
There's not enough females in the copy space to merit that.
I know. So really quick, everything he's talking about is understanding context, the context of the business and the context of the marketing reason why your copy exists and where it goes. Copy that just released a course on marketing strategy, like a complete comprehensive course on like an introduction to learning marketing strategy. Lots of bonuses, lots of content that doesn't exist anywhere else. And of course, if you want to understand what I'm going to say next, we also have another plug for that I'm going to reveal in just a moment. And that is this. I'm going to the opposite of anger translate you. I
don't know what it means when you say anger translate.
He's never seen Key and Peele. I'm the nerd here. So I'll talk to the people who watch too much.
Does
TV.
anybody understand anything this dude says on any stream ever?
I'll let people answer in the comments. But what I'm going to say is this. He is effectively talking about this. Copywriting and the skill needed to persuade somebody to buy or to take an action is different from the skills, the softer skills necessary to manage relationships. You'll notice that there's a lot of overlap. There's a Venn diagram and there's some overlap between them, but ultimately getting clients, managing clients, like managing the relationships with clients, managing expectations, setting boundaries. These are all discrete skills. And if you're a freelancer starting from square zero, like say you're 14 and you're just like, hey, copywriting is a good way to make money. And also like, why haven't I gotten my first client yet? Well, guess what? It's because copywriting, the freelance copywriting as a sort of like larger set is actually broken down into multiple sets of different skills that you need to learn in order to be successful. One of those skills is networking, charisma, fucking confidence, fucking like knowing how to communicate well with people in a business context. And also, guess what? If you are good at copywriting, well, what are the skills you need to be good at copywriting, right? It's like understanding your audience, understanding their pain points, understanding like what they need in order to like achieve their dreams. I also noticed that like the moment I started talking, we went from like 22 viewers down to 13. So like maybe you're right. And nobody does understand what I'm saying. But basically this, like you have a skill set that you're trying to learn, copywriting. But in copywriting, you also have to learn all these other soft skills. One of the reasons why I say like, if you are able, not everybody's able, if you're able to get a job at an agency or in-house for a few years before you march off as a freelancer, that's going to benefit you more because that will allow you to get paid to learn the copywriting. And while you're doing that, you can also cultivate the softer skills that you need to succeed as a freelancer. Mm-hmm. And when you're in-house, like working in-house in a business, you see all the processes, the mechanisms, you see everything that's going on and where your copy lives and what you need to do and how you need to like temper your fucking expectations in order to succeed within the context of that business. And that for me is one of the big mistakes that I see a lot of like newbie copywriters making is they think that they're entitled to like the checks and also the B words, but like they aren't willing.
The bag?
A more misogynistic term. They aren't willing to do the work to understand that, like, yeah, there's copywriting, but then there's this whole like orbiting satellites of skills that you also need to master in order to become a good freelancer. Now, here's an aspirational story for you. One of the fastest, like, I know nothing about copywriting to getting a high-paying client, 3 weeks. Woman in the UK. And here's the thing. She understood from her previous experience, like, how to manage people, how to talk to people, how to, like, understanding that, like, when you're a freelancer, until you're, like, a bigwig charging a lot of dollars, you're not rolling in there with your nuts out, being like, do things my way, also pay me. She was just like, okay, I understand that in this initial stage, I need to be somewhat subservient. And guess what? She's not, like, I don't think she's 2 years into her copywriting career. She's getting flown to, like, Spain for, like, business retreats. She's a freelancer. Businesses do not do this for freelancers unless they're really good. She's getting royalty agreements. She's only a couple of years into her freelancing career. And she understood really quick that, like, okay, I have these soft skills. Now I need to learn the hard skills of copywriting and marry the two. And if you are a freelancer, a new person getting into copywriting, you need to understand that, like, you're going to have a harder hill to climb because you have a whole lot of skills that you need to learn in parallel with each other before you get your first client.
On that note, soft skills, hard skills, there was a copywriter that once put this idea of like this triangle to me. That's yours.
Thank you.
And he told me to succeed in any enterprise, you have to do 2 of 3 things. Do great work, be extremely likable, hit deadlines. And if you don't know shit about copy, like seriously, you haven't done a handful of projects, that leaves you 2 of the 3, and you got to get good at them, which is be extremely likable and hit deadlines, because you can't yet produce great work. I want to make a plug to my shit. As soon as I did that, I felt it like well up. It was like, and if you want to learn exactly how to produce great work, you should check out the Copy Squad Lite program.
You should plug my work too.
And that. Copyright stuff. Like, dude, it's autopilot, baby. All I know how to do is, like, I started talking. I'm like, and by the way, if you really want to produce great copy, you want to learn the ins and outs of how to write properly structured sales arguments and really get that shit that makes people click buy, give you money all day, every day.
Buy all of our stuff.
It came up out of fucking, like I said, it like came up out of the back of my spine, like pitch. It's been 8 seconds. You haven't pitched.
Yeah. So just for everybody watching right now, this is a sort of an interlude. But like when you've been doing this for a while, like you realize that like
Copy
the
is
amount
a
of
language.
copy is a language. Go read his book. Take their money.
Another pitch.
Like the ability for businesses like this, the streaming businesses, YouTube businesses, in order for them to exist, they need to generate revenue. And what we have found through testing and over again is that when you don't pitch, you don't make money.
Yeah.
And that's true in life too.
We're in the interlude.
Interlude.
This is turning into a podcast more than whatever we're supposed to do.
Scoot the chair over that. Like you're like angled this way, but you have the chair like shooting into me.
Oh, is it my angle? But like the chair.
Yeah, that's fine. Look.
Now you're sitting in my lap. All right. So,
but this is good. It's more balanced. Like, you know, rule of like the thirds for like film. Like I'm in the top. Like,
you know what? I don't know if you noticed when you were talking, I straight up actually leaned back and pulled myself out of center stage.
And when you were talking, I was like over here.
We got a good dynamic going on here. So anyway,
it's almost like we've been friends for a long time.
I don't even know this guy.
What?
We're just bald guys that hang out.
We just
meetup.com. Bald guys with beards. And I was like, "Oh, you copyright?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, what's up?"
Actually, you know what? He was on Grindr, and I swiped right, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I'm in Baltimore for a few days. You down for some fuck?" And I was like, "Only if we can stream it."
Oh fucking shit! There goes all the credit. Like, I don't even know how to combat that because I can't be like, no, like, oh fuck this. Like, anyway, so
we're both secure in our masculinity. are hot, naked, sweaty masculinity. See, like,
Why do I fucking hang out? Why do
when I
get on
make jokes
camera
like that,
and
he gets uncomfortable. When he talks about dating, it makes me uncomfortable. So it's balanced.
Because I date women.
Yeah, unlike me. I'm married to women.
All right, you know. So you got 2 beards.
Oh shit! Oh my god, Chelsea! Hello!
Oh, hey.
Oh my god, she was one of my favorite marketers at Agora Financial. She's delightful.
I agree. So, yeah, okay. So I was saying in the interlude, we were talking about the triangle. We were talking about, oh my god, I had something and you made it weird. I had like an actual copy point. Oh yeah, emails. One another pet peeves of mine.
Yes.
When I talk about dudes who email their clients like, hey, are you going to pay? Like, I grab my chain to move my lock over here, and it's slick with sweat. I didn't even realize it's that hot. Anyway, so the same thing. I don't even know the same sort of like box of behavior. Whenever you send a text message to your client's phone as opposed to emailing them with the invoice. Oh yeah, let me tell you the actual right thing to do. How about that? Instead of texting their phone, being like, when you go and pay, you send the work and you say, hey, attached is the work. Here's the invoice, which is for X amount. And if you can't do invoice yet, then you say, this is the bank routing and account number. Please deposit this much by this date. And that counts as an invoice. That's it. And they will do it. They will do it. You have to understand that you give them more than 24 minutes to deposit the money in your PayPal. Even if it's a PayPal, say, hey, my PayPal address. Give them, name the account and say, please deposit by. Sometimes they might wait till the day before that due date. But a lot of people will actually hit me up before they've sent that request and told the person where to send the money even. They didn't say, please deposit to this account or this PayPal address by this date. That's the correct thing to do.
Yeah. So notice what he did there. When you are talking to your client, tell them what to do. It's the same as copy. Give them a CTA, a call to action. Tell them what to do. Not, hey, you gonna pay? No, that's dumb. And you're dumb if you do that. No, like, be a professional. It is all about what he was saying, credibility. And a lot of what credibility is wearing the clothes, the trappings of credibility. It is in how you talk. It is in how you communicate. It is in the mediums in which you communicate. You texting? No, you email that invoice. You say professionally, dear sir, don't do that. But like actually explain, like, here's the work. And then if you don't hear, if the person doesn't have any like pushback or revisions or things like that, then you follow up with like, okay, I assume that you accepted my work because I've not heard from you in X number of days. Have these numbers in your head before you go in. Here is my invoice, and go from there. Act like a professional. That is how professionals behave.
All right. So
hey,
hot take. Don't fucking text your clients until you know what you're doing.
Yep.
So that goes back to the triangle thing I was saying about like be either great work, deliver on time, hit deadlines, or be extremely likable. And you can only do 2 of the 3 to stay in a job. If you can't yet deliver great work, if you don't totally know what you're doing, then you need to be professional, which is another form of likable, and you need to hit deadlines. Like I think that hitting deadlines as a copywriter, like unless you like emerge 2 weeks late with like an absolute banger that fucking changes the whole business, then you're forgiven. But otherwise, you hit those deadlines. Send in something half finished and like make the copy chief angry that, you know, like he's got to work on your dog shit copy versus missing the deadline. Because the copy chief is going to have to work on your dog shit copy either way. So before I was leading into, I paused and I diverted so that I could tell you what to do, the correct thing to invoice and how to do that. There was emails. That's what it was. People telling on themselves. So
when just a quick warning: when you hit this or
it
like
makes a bunch of noise.
Yeah, it travels through the microphone.
I get my phone off of this thing too. Emails. You tell on yourself. You said the more pitches or the more offers that you make, the more money that you make. When you respond, I get this less and less lately because I've actually started to take. At a certain point, we were getting a lot of complaints that all we did was sell in our emails, but I have started. Like if I see that, then I see a dude who's so out of touch with what copy is and the function of an email. I'm not. And you feel a rant coming on.
Hey,
right.
I'm leaning back, so floor is yours. If you need to go on a rant.
So, like, the function of an email, I'm not writing to you so that we can have fucking Gossip Girl time. All right? I'm writing to you. If I fucking sit down and start putting fingers to keys, I want some money. Like, the whole point, I don't do social media or Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. I don't fucking find it fun to rack up my connections. I don't care if I have 1 or 5,000 followers on Facebook or Instagram. I'm doing it because the bigger that number gets, the bigger the list is, it's a list, then I can put out my content or pitches to a bigger list. And people who think that, you said it earlier, this word is so perfect. It's perfect for the beginners because you have to understand this logarithmic curve, this like, does this have a draw function? That's just edit screen. Does it have a draw function?
I think so.
Thingy? That's edit layout.
New layout. Oh God. Man, I have no idea. I do have a Wacom tablet, but I'm not going to set it up right now.
Do you have a piece of paper?
Oh my! Do you really need to do this?
Yes.
All right.
Well, you have a piece of paper right there and a pen. It's not even a big deal.
You're welcome.
All right. So if I hold it up, let me see. Let me see if I draw it like this. Will it look right, or is it mirror? Does it mirror? Okay, it's right. All right. So here's what it looks like. This is the y-axis is going to be population, and the x-axis.
He's secretly a nerd. He's secretly a nerd. Like that's why we're friends. Like he's like the cool guy that has like a nerdy core. I'm like the nerdy guy with a cool core. Like we balance each other out pretty well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So here's what it is. This is the copywriting population. You'll notice.
Here, let me be Vanna White over here. All right. Fucking Jesus Christ. There you go.
All right, here we go. This line actually doesn't mean anything. I don't know why I drew it out there. But anyway, the point I was trying to make is this significant drop off. So this shouldn't be success. Hold on a fucking second. This is time. This is time.
Look at this. Look at this comment.
All right, look. Hold up. Hold this thing.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, the population of copywriters at any given moment and the time that they're in the game. So essentially, most people leave. Well, not even most people. I have pretty good retention actually inside the Discord channel. But I see people legitimately.
What Discord channel, Kyle?
Copy Squad Lite at copysquad.net/lite LITE, baby.
And don't forget that there's also a Copy That free Discord that you can get onto using the links in the description.
So I meant people pay for mine. All right. So listen, when I see people come in and leave. We have an 80% retention, which I'm pretty happy with. Mm-hmm. But I see people come in and leave within 1 to 2 months, that 20% that leaves. And these are people that they're entitled. They're entitled. They didn't see that success in that first 1 or 2 months, and it'll drop. Yeah. And then it'll start to sort of level out. It should actually go a little bit slope down, or more. But like the point of this graph is you can understand, like, this is a visual representation of the literal entitlement that exists inside of our industry. It goes back to that whole thing of I read a book, can I charge $5,000? It's like, bruh, this is a skill. Not only is it a skill, yes, there are tactics, there are emotional trigger words, but the reason I equate it to a language is because a language is a lifelong. Kyle's paid because of high quality.
Rod, you fucking traitor.
He put it on the screen. Look, but like the The reason I equate it to a language is because there is a component of like you have to get immersed in it, and because what we're dealing with is literally human psychology. And the first part is like market research, learning your audience, and that requires immersion. And then you have to learn how to talk to them in the way that they talk. So, for instance, let's make a dating analogy.
Oh God.
Let's say you're a 45-year-old male and you go on a date with a 21-year-old girl.
Why are you describing my life?
What a pimp. All right. So listen, if you're a 45-year-old dude dating a 21-year-old dude or girl, and so there is a generational chasm there. You have to understand that a 45-year-old will reference things like Flight of the Conchords and men wearing hard hats, Sylvester Stallone, Rule 34. And they're going to talk about shit like that. And then the 21-year-old girl's going to be scrolling through TikTok and being like, I don't get it. So, like, you're not speaking her language. However, if you send her a funny meme, or you'd be like, oh my God, did you see this one? And you show her your TikTok and it's like something hilarious. And it's hilarious in the way that she thinks things are hilarious. You're speaking her language. So it's all that. Like, that is your job. Your job is human psychology. And we learned this at Agora.
Can I tie this back into the broader conversation really quick?
Before you do, can you bookmark it?
The second time he's asking me to bookmark shit.
I got one line left, which is the writing is like almost, it's a minority of the work that we do as copywriters.
Yeah.
We learned this at Agora. Joe taught us this, Joe Shreeford, publisher, when we were there. He taught us that research is about 66% of your job. And like he used this Abraham Lincoln quote every single day. I heard this quote. And sometimes the number changed. If I had 5 hours or 6 hours, which one is it?
If you ask me to chop down a cherry tree in 5 minutes, I'm going to spend the first 3 sharpening my axe.
Right. So you spend the majority of your time actually getting your axe sharp so you can swing at it like once or twice and the whole tree comes down. And that's research. It's not actually people, when they send me a question on Discord, at Copy Squad, when they send me a question on Discord, though, for real, and they say like, hey, how would you write this letter? I always answer those questions with another question. How many of those fucking letters have you read? Like, have you actually tried to find another letter in that space and looked at it and said, oh, this is how they approached it, or how you sell this product? Have you even looked before you decided to sit down at your Google Doc and start typing shit up? Okay, I'm done. I'm ranting.
And if you were a subscriber to our 21-day free course at copythatshow.com, or if you were a subscriber to youtube.com/copythat, you would know that one of the things that we talk about, not Kyle, is that when you're starting out, you got to turn off ad block. You got to expose yourself to copy. You got to look at the things that you're trying to fucking learn to write. You got to learn how to do this stuff.
I'm getting them. You're getting the energy now. We just dropped F-bombs.
Hey, hold on, really quick. I mentioned the anger translator really quick, and hold on. Somebody mentioned something about that.
Oh.
The gay jokes were a little too much for some people, I think. It's too bad. I think we make a good couple. Yeah, classic sketch right there. Classic sketch. The only comment about the nerd stuff that you were asking about was a positive one in my camp. So Sean won, Kyle also won. Because,
yeah, but he's kind of invested in your success. He's like a partner. So
yeah, it's true. Yeah, no, he knows his audience. He knows who he's talking to.
Who is he talking to?
He's talking to us and also the larger group.
Well played.
There you go,
Roderick.
So Rod's really cool. So if we ever do like a joint like mastermind session or like invite a bunch of people where we have like an event,
we're gonna do that. Look, I was at this fucking event yesterday and I was like, why am I not having masterminds? Why am I not doing? I know now I feel like I'm so arrogant sometimes when I talk, but the stuff that I know a lot of things. I know all the things. I fucking know. I know the best things.
If you're gonna say shit like that, you need to also like drink like the person you're referencing.
Listen, but for real, All right, that's it. We're gonna do a joint mastermind thing. All you gotta fucking do is you rent a fucking hotel conference room. You send out a flyer. You tell everyone it's $10,000, and you gotta pay for your own hotel room, and then
and your flight.
Yeah, and your flight, and you get to listen to me talk.
Well,
you're welcome.
Us talk, but there you go.
No, but hey, man, and you have a whole crew, so we can definitely fill the space. And I know a couple guys in this industry who could probably come out and like stand on stage and they'll pitch something, tell you, "Hey, join my group, come here, I'm gonna teach you some copy." We can do that.
That's a good impression of how I am going to speak on stage. So
I actually have always wanted to do a mastermind, and I've always wanted also. Okay, you have a community, which is in a Discord channel, which is separate from my community. Which is Copy Squad. but I have always wanted to, see, I just refrained from pitching. Self-control.
he did not reframe it. That was a subtle pitch.
All right, so I've always wanted some sort of excuse or opportunity to engage in real life, IRL, with my community. I know a lot of other people that do this successfully. Kevin Rogers does it. The Copywriting Club Facebook group, they do it very often.
Mm-hmm.
But I have not actually ever set up a physical like meet and greet with my people. And so to host an event, and it doesn't have to be like a $10,000 mastermind. We said mastermind. I don't know if you'd be open for this, but like to do something like we do. Go
I
on stage
literally
and
came
we
up
do
with the
something.
fucking idea.
No, I'm saying
I was the one who started with this.
Instead of because when I hear mastermind, I automatically think like $10,000 ticket. I'm totally cool, except this greedy bastard over here won't let me. But we could do like a lower cost ticket thing and just get a bunch of people in a hotel, conference center, or whatever, and just like teach them some stuff, hang out with them, have a happy hour. Like I would be so game.
I would be game. That would be fucking awesome. I would love to meet our audience like in person.
Yeah.
We have cool people that watch. I know our stuff. I don't know about your stuff. You have some fucking weirdos. Anyway.
Oh, I just realized, dude. We're all right. At some point, we're supposed to switch to my channel, and when we do, we're gonna appear like the drunkest version of ourselves.
Yeah,
by the
true.
time we fucking split to my shit, I'm like, ah, Copy Squad, easy boy, estupido.
Yeah. So just before we got into this particular interlude, I wanted to like bring what you were saying like 3 minutes ago back to the bookmark. And I completely forgot what I was going to say. So the rum's definitely kicking in. Is there any more rum? Is it dead?
CopyCon.
Okay, let me top you off.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, man.
Or not thanks. You're sabotaging my channel. This is his plan all along. Was he was going to have like a really normal kosher stream here with me. And then he's been slipping me all sorts of drugs. And then we're going to switch to my channel. And that's how he's going to cancel Copy Squad.
We're actually microdosing mushrooms right now too. It's a good time.
It don't matter. I'm sweating it all right out. Like as soon as it goes in, it doesn't even reach my fucking stomach. It just comes right out the fucking pores. If there was one more like stronger, more powerful light, it would actually blind the camera because I'm glistening. I'm covered in it. If we had a real true blue ring light over there, it would be just absolute.
So I tried the ring light for a little bit, but like the setup that I have, I appreciate because it gets both angles pretty well without having the like. I wear glasses, man. So like
a fucking nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
I just use them as a prop to look cool as shit.
Yeah, man. Cheers.
Sláinte.
So let's bring this back to the topic at hand. I'm watching the visitors, like 33. All right, 27. They're getting off topic again. We're talking loosely, emphasis on the loosely, about the mistakes that we see new copywriters making. And the vast majority of what we've been talking about for the last hour has been really about the entitlement that people have based on what they've heard from others. The unwillingness to do hard work, which, again, good copywriters know how to sell the dream. Copy that doesn't want to sell you the dream. We want to sell you the listen, life is pain, to live is to suffer. And also, if you want to get into this business, you're going to have to learn to deal with rejection. You're going to have to learn to deal with failure. Most of the things that you write in life are going to fail. Sorry, that's the truth. Hit rate for the best copywriter percentage.
I think it's like the best one, the guy that crushes it best is like 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4.
25 to 33%.
And remember, every unit of 1 is about 2 months of work.
Yeah.
Like if this guy's flying. So that's 8 months to have 1 hit.
So I've talked about that a lot in the past. And one of the things that people do not understand about getting into copywriting is that it's a numbers game. You are going to fail far more often than you are going to succeed. And so if you go into this business with fucked up high expectations, you're going to learn very quickly the kind of future that you can expect. I'm just going to put it that way. And so ultimately, one of the soft skills that you need to cultivate as you're getting into copywriting is like how to learn from failures, how to grow from failures, how to like negotiate and deal with failures, and how to parlay those failures into successes. I've told stories before about how I've done that, but I want to give the floor to you to talk about, like, have you ever had like a failure or a bomb that you've managed to like spin into or turn into a success, or that you learned from and then had a success?
Like I have like, so I kind of have 2 sort of answers to this. I have like a specific copy answer, like about like a promo failure, which is like a bomb, which happens. But then I also have like life in general, and I'll let you sort of pick life in general or the specific promo. I feel like the promo one, the reason I don't like the promo one.
Please don't use a dating example. Use a copy example.
I feel like the promo one though is too what's the word for niche? It's too like, if you're not in Agora, like it doesn't make as much sense.
I mean, do you want to give like 15 minutes of context just to make what you're about to say make sense?
My life one is actually fairly copy based. So the reason I'm in copy, so it's not a dating thing. I actually really love my dating analogies. So fuck you. So,
by the way, we're grabbing dinner with my wife and kids later. So, you know, I'm going to hold on to that, Kyle.
Oh, he's going to. All right. So anyway, the reason I'm in copy. So actually a lot of people, when you reach like this point where everyone knows you as like a copy guy and they're looking at the copy, they find you through YouTube and like how to do copy. They don't ever, some people don't go back to the old videos where I talk about like my story. The reason I'm in copy is because I wanted to write novels. My whole life plan when I was in my 20s was to write a couple novels and have them sell about $300 worth of royalties per month and move to Costa Rica. That was my whole like life plan in my 20s. So I wrote a couple novels. They were about dating. And it weren't how-tos, but they were really just like sort of stories about like my dating life and exploits and stuff like that. I was into Charles Bukowski and Tucker Max at the same time.
Oh God!
And so I wrote some. It's called Hang-Ups and Hangovers, and the sequel was Redheads and Bedspreads. They're not listed.
He still managed to find a way to plug his stuff.
Plug, bitches. But they're not listed anymore. I took them down when I became like a copy guru because I was like, well, this is a little explicit for like a copy guru. So I might bring them back now that I don't give a fuck. So
yeah,
I wrote the books, but I couldn't sell them. I wrote the books, I published them, I had them on Kindle and Amazon and all those things, and I couldn't sell them. And so I started Googling around. So this is a failure. This is another thing that people don't understand. Like, as I do, every time I sit down to write a promo, I don't know if it's going to work. Like, I'm a person. This is another thing that they don't get is like,
I thought you were a larger than life YouTube
when
personality.
when you see someone who's like doing a thing or talking or has like a sort of amount of confidence, like you forget that they also struggle with like this idea of like, oh fuck, what if, or I don't know, like those sort of uncertainties exist for everybody. So I was an accountant, and I have to now to put context for you. I was an accountant in Charlotte, North Carolina. I took the CPA exams. Some of them I had to take twice. It's like very difficult to pass all the CPA exams. I did that. And one day I was sitting in my cubicle, and it was like gray cubicle. I was legitimately wearing a gray button-down shirt, gray slacks, and a black and gray tie. And I was like, who the fuck wants to die an accountant? So
that's a good line.
I was like, nuh-uh.
No, that is so the call to adventure for your next novel.
There you go. So I dipped. I sold all my stuff and I cashed in my 401k. Now, I grew up in a poor city in North Carolina. Like the median income, like today with inflation, is like 38,000. So when I was growing up, it might have been like 12,000. So like I grew up in that, and I was the first in my family to go to college. So you have to understand the expectation. Kyle made it. Kyle was supposed to be the next president. Like Kyle was like the fucking dude is going to save and do everything right. Where
the Milligan that we were proud of.
Yeah, like that's the guy that did it. He wears a tie to work now. So I said, fuck that, and I moved home. I threw it all away. I sold all my stuff. I cashed in a 401k, and I basically started writing smut. And
I love that.
And so, like, I move home to my small community where everybody knows everybody, and they're like, this kid is fucking stupid. He just threw away his life, and then the books came out. Which were quite, again, like personal and revealing and sometimes
lurid.
Explicit. And so, fuck you. And so this is happening and words circling around town and getting back to me. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm back in town because I had to move back in with my granny. Mind you, I passed the CPA exams. I had a master's degree. And I'm living with my granny and I refuse to get a job. Okay, you have to understand this is the pressure that I lived with, the expectations. My granny's such a sweet person, though. She would never judge me. She took me right back in. She said, I got you. I'll make you some bacon and eggs. And I was like, thanks, Granny.
See, I had a granny that did the same thing for me, except she's very judgmental. It's that very much that like Greek/Irish, like, what the fuck are you doing? But also like still loves you.
You just said it with a little bit of an accent too. Like I could almost hear her voice through your voice.
Go on.
So maybe Granny did sort of be like, oh, Kyle. but at the same time, she made me bacon and eggs and took care of me and like gave me a bed and all that stuff. So I'm running out of money. I'm essentially, I mean, I live with Granny. Kind of homeless. I consider myself like, I don't have an address that I report to the government now. Like I'm like at Granny's. So all of this is happening. This is a failure in the sort of societal sense. Like I have no direction. I've written 2 novels. They're not selling. I'm running out of money and I'm refusing to get another job. Like that's just the kind of guy that I was. Like I'm going to figure out this writing thing. I'm going to be a writer. I failed my writing career into becoming a successful copywriter. So I was.
How so?
Yeah. So I feel like this focus went out for a minute. There I got it.
What?
Okay. So I don't like being a burden, so I'm going to go stay with my older sister in Chicago. I'm leaving Granny's and I'm on my way. It's like a 18-hour drive from North Carolina to Chicago.
Which part of Chicago?
It's an outskirts of Chicago. It's like Elgin.
Elgin, so that's north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's like near Andersonville.
This isn't a geography conversation. This is a copy.
Chicago is a wonderful city and everybody should visit.
Just watch out for that gun violence.
That's on the south side of Chicago.
It's great except for the south. So anyway, I'm
true of America too.
So I'm busy. I'm gonna go stay with my sister now because I'm staying with my granny for too long. So I'm on my way and I can't sell my novels. And so I'm trying to figure out how to do this. And the internet tells me you need to learn how to market your novels. And I said, well, how do I market my novels? And the internet tells me you need to learn copywriting. So I am literally, it's like 2 a.m. I'm somewhere close to Indiana, driving up to go stay with my sister. And I decide to, what's ironic is I was literally listening to Choose Yourself on Audible, which is James Altucher's book, who became the dude I wrote my first promo for ever. Fucking crazy. So I turn off Choose Yourself and I Google copywriting on the Googles, and Kevin Rogers and Joe Schriefer two dudes I would end up hanging out with and having careers. And Kevin and I are friends, and Joe and I are friends now. And Joe says on the podcast, if you want to learn copy, I'll fly you out to Baltimore. I'll teach you how to write copy for like 8 weeks or something like that. We'll put you up. They'll give you a house. I was like, motherfucker, I need one of those. So Joe was like, Joe like checked all the boxes for me. So when I get to my sister's house, I send Joe an email and I say, hey man, I've never written copy. I've written some novels. I said I was a pretty good salesman on the phone for a little bit. I was like the top sales rep, so I know how to sell stuff, which is a result. The result of copy is selling stuff. The result of my phone sales, selling stuff. So notice I had no copy experience, but I got a foot in the door and then became quite successful at Agora Financial. I'm telling you the blueprint. And
by the way, how did you email Joe? And how did you follow up with him? I love this story.
Yeah. I ought to just publish this story. So, or publish the emails somewhere, like just take screenshots. So Joe at the end of the thing said, if you want to be a copywriter, here's what we're looking for. Someone who's curious, someone who's done something and something. Like basically it was about personality traits. You're curious, you're a something reader, like ravenous reader or something. He said something like that. You're curious, you're a ravenous reader, and he had some other thing. So I went and I sent Joe an email. Said, hey Joe, my name's Kyle. Listen, I'm super interested guy, curious guy, where my girlfriend bought me an SEO book for Christmas. Like, how many people do you know will be stoked to get an SEO book for Christmas? Well, that's me. I said, I've never written copy, but I've written novels, and I have actually sold a lot over the phone. I worked for like this. I was a phone salesman for a cable company, and I think I'd be a great fit because, I mean, I'm interested in a lot of topics. I know how to sell, and I'm really motivated.
I want to pause you because Kyle made a mistake that I see a lot of people making with cold email. It was all about him. Now, what he did next made it more interesting and compelling to Joe. Unpause.
Tell him my second email. So anyway, I told him all the stuff that he asked for me to tell him. I said, I just basically took the information he gave on the podcast. Said, I got all that stuff, A, B, and C, and I hit send. Next day, no response. Now, I made the mistake that the copywriters I was talking about earlier make, where you're like, when you going to pay? I didn't know what Agora Financial was. So I also didn't realize like it was a big business and it was important in this space. I didn't know who Joe Schriefer was. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what I did know. A day passed and he didn't email me back. And I was like, what the fuck? So I sent a reply that just said, bump. B, in all caps, BUMP, parenthesis, which is a smiley face. And it was like, that was my way of saying to him, hey, motherfucker, look at me. And that's how I felt about it. Like, I've told people before, like, it's okay to be a little stupid and arrogant. Like, to be a little bit naive and say, you know, I deserve this. I should have this. I should have this success. I should be able to succeed in this arena.
As long as you learn from your failures.
Yeah. So you have to understand at this point, I am a failure. I quit my accounting career. I have a master's degree and I've passed all the CPA exams and I abandoned it. I cashed in my 401k and now I was out of that. My credit cards, and my student loan debt were all very, very high. And now I'm going to stay with my sister because I felt guilty for being such a burden on my granny. Do you understand the position that I'm in, right? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But like a lot of people see this like the end result and is like, he's so lucky. Fuck you. It's not easy. So anyway, Joe sees the bump email and responds and he says, hey, Kyle, great to hear from you. Thanks for sending all that information, whatever. And he says to me, would you rather work in, he said, we have 2 offices. Would you be interested in working in Baltimore, Maryland or Delray Beach, Florida? And I Googled Baltimore, Maryland, and then I Googled Delray Beach, Florida, and I promptly replied, Delray Beach, Florida. And he said, okay. He said, well, our office manager or copy chief out there is Evaldo Albuquerque. I'll put you in touch with him. So I believe I was Evaldo's first ever like official junior as he started like as copy chief in career. Now I know he worked with a couple people out there at the Delray Beach office, but I feel like they were all peers.
Yeah.
They were peers almost like at the same level. I was his first like junior in a title capacity.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And
by the way, Evaldo Albuquerque, he has a book called The 16-Word Sales Letter. I highly recommend it. If you've read a lot of copy books before, you're not going to learn a whole lot of new stuff, but he synthesizes that information in a really cool way. Evaldo is, when Kyle was like, they were peers with Evaldo and he was working with them, I mentally push back on that a little bit because Evaldo is a different league. Evaldo is not human.
So I have to push back on that a little bit. So yes, Evaldo's Evaldo's work ethic is inhuman.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm talking about.
I'll say he's a machine. Yeah. However, what I have to do is just like I told my story, I want to share his vulnerability as well. It took him 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? So like he worked with that tenacity for years. Like not 2 months, not 2 weeks, not 1 year. It was like 5 years. So the people in that room with him had been in the game about the same time. They were peers. Now, he did, like about the time that I came into the business, he had a meteoric rocket ship, holy shit, ascension.
But Evaldo learned from his failures.
And it took him 5 years to really start getting that traction and start just exploding and becoming the phenomenon that he is today. But when I walked in the door, he was a successful he wasn't that guy yet. Yeah. He wasn't that guy yet. And a lot of the things inside the 16-word sales letter didn't exist. They were just things like that he beat me over the head with, but there were no 10 questions. He was like, this is fucking dumb. This is fucking boring. This is dog shit. This is dog shit.
What did he say to you when you submitted your first piece of copy?
So my first piece of copy, which was for James Altucher, wrote this promo called the hottest IPO in history.
Mm-hmm. Good promo, by the way.
It only came down because it had to. It could have kept running. It lasted over a year, which is a really long lifeline for a financial.
For a financial control, that is a long time.
The reason it came down is because the promo was about Uber being a private company, and then Uber went public a year and a half after I wrote it, and then we had to take the promo down because it didn't make sense anymore.
Yep.
It would have kept running. But
by the way, AI ChatGPT can't write stuff like that. Just wanted to throw that in there. Please go on. Evaldo, what did he say to you when you submitted your first piece of copy?
That's a good. All right. On the note of AI, ChatGPT, and all that shit.
No, please.
I'm not gonna talk about AI.
We're on like a tangent to a tangent.
No. I'm not gonna talk about AI yet. But ask questions. The reason I wanted to say this is ask questions so that I have something to talk about in the next stream. Ask me some questions so I can talk about in the next stream, because ChatGPT and AI and all that stupid shit is. I say that now, and like they're gonna record that and screenshot. I'm like, Kyle's dumb because AI is very powerful 10 years from now.
Well, why don't we just do that? Why don't we just have that's the topic for the second video, the second half. Yeah.
So anyway, Strong asked, what did Evaldo say to me? It was not very kind. But
please give the exact words.
I sent in. I'm gonna have to set some context. I was in Delray.
Yeah.
Evaldo was in Delray. I emailed Evaldo my copy. Evaldo took the copy and read it. Evaldo then scheduled a meeting for us in Baltimore, Maryland. He could have called me. He could have just drove over and said, "What's up?" Motherfucker scheduled. Like, we got to talk. Because
I don't want this recorded.
Here's another example of turning failure into success. You have to realize up to this moment, I'm still a failure. God damn it. Like, I haven't had any success. I've been going for a long time, not having any glimmer of hope. Okay. So Evaldo now says, hey, let me meet you in Baltimore. We need to talk about your promo. So I've written this whole ass promo and I submitted it to Evaldo. And it was Doug Hill's office, the glass walls.
Yeah.
So I can see Evaldo as I'm walking up to it, and he's sitting in the chair. And he's got my promo printed out, like on his lap, like in his hand.
Yeah, and he's like looking at it, but he's like, not reading it. You know that look.
So
That look of disdain.
So I opened the door. And I'm fucking brand new. I've never written copy. I've just failed at everything in my life to date. And so I walk in, there's my new boss sitting there with my promo. And I can see as soon as I walk in, there's a lot of red ink. The whole thing is red. The whole thing has been marked out. And so I walk in and I was like, essentially, you want to see me, boss? And I was like, hey, what's up? And so he's like, what would you rate this promo from a scale of 1 to 10? And I was like,
that's a terrible Evaldo accent, but
They
I'll
wouldn't-
allow it.
they wouldn't know that if you would just shut up and let me tell my story. So I was like, I was honest. I was like, well, the average copywriter by definition is a 5. I said, I've never written copy, so I'm assuming it's somewhere between 2 and 3. And he said, okay. Because this is the worst piece of copy I have ever read in my entire life. And I was like, oof.
Right there.
Right. As soon as he said it, I was like, no positives.
Just no testosterone, all estrogen. Just, oh man. Just like, you just feel like the blood drain from your extremities as you go into fight or flight mode.
You know what? I'll tell you what I said next. It's not one of my proudest moments. I said to him, I said, all right, I'll work on it. I'll fix it. But don't say that to anybody else, because I want to get more projects and I don't want anyone to know I'm this bad. I fucking told him. I was like, bro, that's fine. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get better. Just please don't tell anybody else. I literally said, please don't tell anyone how bad I am at my job. That's where my mind was. Like, if anyone knows how bad I am at this, they won't let me. I won't get any more projects here at Agora Financial. And so, one of my buddies at the time.
I want to come back to that in a little bit because I think that's a good lesson for people that are new. But please go on.
Like, is it an imposter syndrome kind of lesson?
Imposter syndrome / like the feeling like you have to put on the mask of somebody who's really good.
Yeah.
When in reality, security and confidence actually comes out when you say, yeah, I did fucking fail. And I got better because I'm that good at working hard.
Yeah, that always comes after.
Yeah.
That's what my email's about today. If you sign up at copysquad.net/4 triggers and get on the email list.
Oh my God. We have to do the banner, but then I'm going to have a plug. That's for copythatshow.com. All right. But please finish your story. Evaldo, how did you spin this failure into a success?
So I was like,
dude's texting while we're trying to stream a story to help other people.
I'm helping people in my text messages right now. So, what the fuck was I talking about?
Spinning a failure into a success.
Oh yeah.
And learning how to deal with failure by doing that.
No, this is gonna blow your fucking mind from here. All right, here we go. So this is it. This is the crux of it. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Listen. Telling a story over here.
I'm listening to the story.
All right, listen.
Go on.
So, I'm in copy camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Braddock is in my class.
Cool dude.
Manny Madrano's in my class.
Really cool dude.
And then a host of other really cool dudes are in my class.
Really, really cool dude.
I mentioned Rob because I just saw him this week at the event.
I wish he could have been on for this.
Man, yeah, we gotta get him on one of these. And then the second thing is I mentioned Manny for a very specific purpose. Very, very specific.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God, Manny. Yeah, I know what you're going to talk about.
Manny and I are in the same copy camp. And my first promo was this promo, Hottest IPO, which Evaldo said was the worst piece of copy he'd ever read in his life. It goes on I think I rewrote that promo. I want to say like 6 or 8 times. I had to rewrite an entire promo. And then we sent it to
From
legal.
blank page, by the way.
Yeah, Valdo just redlined the whole goddamn thing. I had to start over. So like we sent it to legal. The promo was called the Uber IPO. And legal said you can't, it's called trading on a name via the FTC. You cannot use another name because our recommendation couldn't be Uber because Uber was still private. Our recommendation was Cypress Semiconductor, which went on to get it. First off, that stock went up and it got bought out. Anyone who invested in that, James Altucher made that call for that financial newsletter service because people always shit on our services. They made a bunch of fucking money. Like that was a great call. But we couldn't use the word Uber because we were trading on a name technically. We were using Uber to promote Cypress Semiconductor. So we got focus problem. Okay, cool. So what they said in legal was that I can't say the Uber IPO. So Evaldo told me, kill it. Evaldo told me this idea won't work if we can't say Uber. And being the stubborn guy that I was, like, this is my first promo. I've rewritten it 8 times. I can't let it die now. I have to launch this promo. And so we wrote the hottest IPO in history, and we blinded Uber through the whole thing. And Manny was in my copy camp, and I had hottest IPO go out. And then me and Braddock wrote Trump bonus checks, and that absolutely crushed. Now with Braddock, I was the senior writer / copy chief, sort of
more experience.
Just he had never written one. I had written one, so I was like the senior writer, and I was going to show him how I did hottest IPO. We wrote Trump bonus checks. We both worked on the promo 50-50. I just happened to have, like Sean said, like a little bit more experience, and then that was a banger. Then Manny was like, dude, there's 2 lessons from this. Like Manny's like, dude, what's going on? How are you doing this? You just got in the game. You have experience. Like, no. He's like, well, what do you do? How are you writing promos so fast? And how are you writing promos at work? And I said, there's 2 things I'm going to say. I said, well, like, your diet and like getting enough sleep and like exercising. And Manny was like, yeah, balance. You got to have balance. And I was like, no, listen. You don't get any of that. You throw all that shit out the window and you just fucking write. And I was like, it's the complete opposite of balance. The reason I'm able to do what I do is because all I fucking do. I neglect my health. I neglect my relationships. I neglect sleep. And I just write. That's why I'm able to do what I do. Because I was so fucking bad. God damn it. You got to understand. And then I took Manny from the kitchen in 808 and I took him downstairs to the basement. I said, let me show you something. Took him down to the desk. And I said, I opened a file. And the file was called like Apocalypse 2017 or something like that. It was called Legal Apocalypse. And I said, I wanted to show you the first promo I ever wrote. And it was basically the hottest IPO and all the revisions. And I said, look, is there any line that hasn't been like redlined? Is there any line that wasn't revised 6 times? And I was like, this is how I did it, was that it wasn't, I didn't sit down and I'm just so good. I wrote a promo and it worked. And I showed him, I was like, dude, like this was hell for like months. I started in October. I started my job in October.
October 2017.
October 2nd, 2017 was my first day. I believe we started working on the promo in November. And then I submitted to legal probably around December and it got killed. And then I had to bring it back and rewrite it again. And it finally went out in February. And I was like, that's how much it took for me to have like my first taste of success. And remember, Evaldo told me it was the worst promo we ever read the first time I submitted it. Then legal said I can't say the word Uber in my Uber promo. And Evaldo told me to kill it. He said abandon the promo. So recall, before I even met Evaldo, I had all these failures. My first draft was a failure. And then Evaldo told me when legal killed it that he said, you got to kill this idea. If you can't do Ubers, it's just dead. And that was a failure. So you're talking about turning failure into success. I had no fucking success. I am just a stubborn fucking dude who just refused to fucking give up on this until finally, like, I like the analogy that people talk about. Like, if you're like chiseling marble, like, you You hit it 100 times, and then the 101st time it cracks. That's what I am. I'm a dude that will just fucking hit a problem 100 fucking times with no fucking win, with no results, no like validation, no like good job, pat on the back, buddy. None of that shit. And then the 101st time, absolute like just like, wow, what a great control. You're so smart. How do you do this? Like what you I wish I had that talent. Fuck you. I hate when people say some shit like that. I wish I had that talent. Yeah, because I just woke up like this.
The people who say like, well, you're already like this. Well, I'm just getting started, so you don't know what it's like.
I don't know what it's like.
Yeah. I mean, I have a similar story of like when I was started. Like I had a different route in to copywriting, but I want to tie Kyle's extremely long story back to the topic at hand, which is the mistakes that copywriters make when they're just getting started. And one of the mistakes that I see copywriters make when they're just getting started is a lack of persistence. The notion in their head that they need to make a lot of money right away. They need to make that money right now. Oh, if this is going to take 3 months, I'm not going to fucking bother. Or conversely, if this is not going to pay off for me in a big way, I'm not going to take the time to get better. And all of the people that I know that earn those 10K, 20K, 40K per month incomes, they're the people who focus on their skills first and their paycheck later. And if you are the type of person who's obsessing over how much you can possibly get paid, you're not going to make it. Focus on the craft. Focus on cultivating the skills. Focus on your ability to succeed through sheer force of will and grit. Because if you do not do that, you're not going to be successful at all. You won't even be able to get your first client. And so, as we learned from the psychologist Angela Duckworth, grit is a better predictor of success than intelligence, than physical ability, than cognitive capacity. Grit, the ability to persist. If you can do that, you can be one of the types of copywriters that everybody's just like, oh man, that dude is making so much money. He's driving all of the Lambos. He has all of the mansions in Romania. He also spent some time in a Romanian prison. He is the man, the toppest of the top G's. It takes persistence to get there. You don't get there immediately. That's my message for you. Do you want to switch to Scotch? Because I'm out of rum.
Do you have any Irish whiskeys?
At Glenfiddich. It's Scottish.
Is that peaty?
I'll let you sample it.
I don't like peaty. That Vicks Vapor Rub taste.
Oh, I love the Vicks. I just take scoops of Vicks Vapor Rub and just shove it in my mouth. Yeah. I love that.
I'm not a peat guy. I don't like peaty whiskeys.
Well, Pete Coyne might take umbrage with that.
No, I don't think you would.
So I want to put a pin and like switch to the second topic that we're going to talk about, which I guess we're going to talk about AI. But Rod had a good question. So I want to let you answer this question, and then I'm going to get more liquors, and then we can continue drinking and talking.
Okay. So I'm answering this. You're getting liquor?
Yes, sir.
Are you going the Glenfiddich?
I'm going to get that first, and then if you don't like that, I'm going to get something else.
Could you bring like a giant glass of ice?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how much ice I have, so TBD.
I need like a fucking pitcher of ice.
It is very hot in this room.
All right. So this question here. Now it's just you and me. Copy that. It's the most menacing laugh I've ever done. All right. So can you ask Kyle's thoughts on the audacity that a lot of ambitious newbies bring with them that makes them comfortable putting themselves out there even before they know shit? I think that goes back to what Sean was saying about grit, right? Like, I gotta fucking sit up really tall if I want to be seen over this question. It's like a paragraph. It comes back to grit, right? It comes back to like, there's a video I did in the old days. I used to just do videos in my car with my phone. I just sit on my phone and I'd just like fucking be like, "Hey, what is up, Copy Squad?" And I'd go live, and then I'd talk in my car. And one of the videos that I did was about being stupid and arrogant. Seriously, I need to get this shit on my face. How I care so much. One of the videos that I did was about being stupid and arrogant. I got that idea from Stephen Pressfield in his book. He wrote a book called War of Art, which changed my life. And then I think the book that I read with the word stupid and arrogant was Do the Work. And he says the artist's greatest allies are stupidity and arrogance. And I believe heavily in that idea that you should be stupid and arrogant. So there was a book they gave us inside of Copy Camp called Obvious Adams, and it's like a 80-page like allegory of this fictional businessman named Adam. And Obvious Adams would he wanted to work at this business. He wanted to work at some sort, let's call it a manufacturing thing. He wanted to work at, some manufacturing plant or something. And so when he decided he wanted to work there, what did he do? He walked into the front office of that business at their headquarters, and he said, "Hey, is Frank Thompson or whatever, the CEO, is Frank Thompson in?" He asked the front desk lady, and she was like, "Yes, but he's in a meeting right now." He says, "Okay, when's that meeting over?" And she says, 20 minutes. Would you like to take a seat? And he goes, "Okay." So Obvious Adams sits down. Obvious Adams is a nobody, and he's going to go speak with the CEO of like one of the biggest like manufacturing companies. And then she says, "Okay, his meeting's over if you want to speak with him." And for whatever reason, the woman just thought he should be there or was meant to see this guy at this time because the way he was talking. So he goes into the office, and the CEO's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Hey, my name's Adam." And he's like, "What can I do for you, Adam?" And he's like, "I want to work here." And the CEO was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he's like, it's good company. It seems nice, and I want to work here. So I think this would be a great place to have a job." And the CEO was just taken aback. He's like so impressed with Obvious Adams. But the truth is, Obvious Adams is just doing the obvious thing. And a lot of people make this mistake. I'll get this question in my Discord at copysquad.net/light, LITE. And I get this question in my Discord, like, should I start in the health niche and then write a couple of successful controls and then make my way over to the financial niche because I know financial is supposed to be harder or like this, or like it's harder to get into this or this. And it's like, bro, if you want to write financial, why don't you start writing financial? Obvious Adams kind of shit. And so the CEO is talking to Obvious Adams and is sort of like, he's sort of impressed with how bold or whatever he is. But the reality is he just has the audacity to say, "I want that job. I'm going to go ask that guy for that job." And a lot of copywriters talk about this audacity in this question. A lot of copywriters trip themselves up by just, you could call it lack of confidence, but they overthink. Copywriters are a lot of times introverted, analytical, overthinking types. You can sort of see this when you have conversations with copywriters from time to time. Look, actually, copywriters are some of the most interesting and fun people, but there's a lot of them who they sort of see the world through this really analytical scope. And the best ones are like more idea stuff. Like the guys that we used to hang out with us in the Agora basement, it was always fun because we're just spitting just stupid, silly, ridiculous ideas back and forth. But a lot of times copywriters will think themselves into a corner, into a pit, and they will literally sabotage their own success. So, I don't know if this answers your question because it's a open-ended question. His thoughts on audacity, ambitious newbies bring with them, makes them comfortable putting themselves out there before they even know shit. Sometimes it's audacity, but sometimes it's just I would call it almost like a security with yourself. They're like, "Hey man, if you tell me no, God, dude, my email today is literally about this at copysquad.net/4triggers."
All right,
sign up
for your half of this live stream that is going to become a video for our things, you have to plug my shit the entire time because I've been letting you plug your shit for this entire time.
I only brought it back up because I fucking plugged as soon as you walked away. I was like, I wish Sean could have seen me plug again. So but like so but like today's email.
Kentucky bourbon. We're moving on from Abuelo 12 to Puncher's Chance Kentucky bourbon.
It'll get you drunk. That's his catchphrase.
So, have I told you the story about that?
Bookmark.
Okay. Third bookmark.
Anyway, we were talking about this motherfucking self-sabotage, confidence bullshit. And really what it is, dude, just be dumb. Be comfortable being stupid. Be comfortable falling on your face. My story, this question came way before my 30-minute story.
Try that straight first.
Is there bitters in there? Is that what you put in there?
Cheers.
Cheers.
And by the way, cheers to everybody watching. I hope you're doing well. Hope you have a lovely weekend.
Indeed. And if you're in Baltimore, hit me up. And him. Anyway.
Don't hit me up. I don't want to see you.
True that. I'm the social one. Oh. So.
That was a joke, by the way.
Confidence, audacity. Confidence and audacity and all this shit is really just being like secure with yourself. Like, I'm going to give this a shot. Like, I feel like I deserve it. So, for instance, whenever I emailed Joe, I came at him in my email with the sort of energy that like, hey, give me a job. I was ignorant to the fact of who he was and the person that I was speaking to and the way that I was speaking. I probably could have been a lot more like supplicative when I was speaking to someone like that. But having met him, I don't think he would respect that either. But I did come at him with like, hey, you asked for these 3 things. I delivered on these 3 things. Give me that job and that house that you promised on that podcast. So I think that audacity and that ambition and confidence is far more self-serving. The only time that I criticize it is when you believe that you should be handed the money and you haven't done anything. I think me and Sean both agree on this, is you haven't earned $1. I never felt like I earned money. I felt like I earned the opportunity, or I deserved the opportunity to prove myself. I was like, just give me a shot. I will get it right. I will do my best. I will figure it out. That's something I'm confident that I'll figure it out if you let me get my foot in the door. Because I think everyone has 24 hours in a day or so, something like that. That mathematical. More or less. Okay. So, I'll do fucking 22 of them. Like I'll spend 22 getting better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of dude that I am. So I can tell I'm rambling a bit. So Roderick, I really hope I answered your question. I really hope I gave you the insight that you were looking for, man, because I talked for like 20 minutes.
Well, I had to re-up us on drinks, so it was time well spent.
Should we read some of these comments? There's so many.
Okay.
Do the one where they send us money.
Yeah, if you have a question for Kyle and I and you want us to answer it and like specifically on the stream without us getting off topic for like 20-30 minutes, make sure that it's with using the YouTube super like function so that we get paid, and I'll split the money with him, and by split the money with him it means that I will make money and then I will buy him drinks so that,
and we need that $4.99 badly.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that to buy another book. Anyway, reminds me, be brave enough to suck at something new. Yeah, absolutely.
Yo, I didn't know this. I don't know if y'all know this. Sean has a 3-story, 11-room house. We're in the 3rd fucking. That's why it took him so long to go get those drinks. My ass never looked better. I had to climb 900 stairs to get in this fucking office.
See, what's funny about that is I took him down to the basement first to show him the gym that I built down there. I took him up 4 stories all the way to the top. It was great.
He also has a home gym.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, man, like you said, I earned this shit. I worked hard for this shit. So.
There's definitely no debate about it.
I feel like failing at your first promo might hurt less if you failed at everything you've done up until It's true.
No, it's not true. when nothing in your entire life has ever gone your way and then you fail again, it's not easier.
Oh,
but that is funny.
Goodness gracious. Rod's a funny dude. I hope you get to meet him one day. Regardless of age, when you're dealing with a client, you must act like an adult in your relationship.
There you go.
Yes, 100%
Yeah.
Absolutely. This Raver Rub is a vibe.
All right, Roderick's funny, man.
Dude, he's so funny. I love that dude. I am glad that I'm in business with him.
Oh wait. Go to this XX. I remember those card videos. That's an OG. What he's referring to is when I used to go live in my car, and I would do this every day, and my goal was to do 100 live videos. There goes back to that persistence and grit. Here, do you want to? Hey, cilantro.
Cheers.
Persistence and grit. I didn't know my YouTube would ever have a subscriber. There was no fucking, hey, good boy, atta boy, pat on the back, like you're doing good. There was none of that. I just fucking did it and found out. And
I like how you hover-handed over my head. Like, it's like rude to pat a bald man's head.
I just feel like if I actually made the contact and patted your head, I think that would be like an actual physical manifestation of something rude. But if I pretended that I would do it, it's less rude.
You and I have been friends for like 6 years. We're like at year 2 of interactions, you got the head pat pass.
I know, but if like you patted me on the head and I uppercut you like Liu Kang, then you'd be like, "What happened?" I'm like, "That's rude, man. Come on."
You and I both come from fucking Welsh, Irish, like hard-nosed families that kind of were like grew up a little bit poor.
I'm not saying we wouldn't be friends after I uppercutted you.
Oh yeah, no, we'd be fine.
Yeah, but
like here's the secret to a good friendship: be able to make fun of each other and like undercut each other, like in a casual way, and like that's just part of your repartee. It's just fun. Rapport built through that repartee.
Do you want to see the most ironic question in our whole thing?
Please. Oh my god. Mark, you're late. You are so late. Because you spent 20 minutes.
No, it's a 45-minute story.
God damn. That is so funny.
I just fucking finished like a 45-minute story.
He might be trolling about it. Eric thinks that he's trolling about it.
Oh
my
shit.
God. Oh, that's no.
Mike
he
says,
actually did
I
legit just showed up. Mark, you are about to learn what the rewind button is all about.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
I just spilled my guts.
Like
Mark,
literally
for
like bared his heart. Oh God, that's funny.
It's a tumultuous journey, my dude.
Oh my God.
Hey, by the way, everyone, my email just went out. The subject line. Should I read it to him?
Please, it's time for another plug.
It's been like 8 seconds. All right. It says, what I told her when she asked, how long do you wait? That is the subject line. If you want to get that email, you go to copysquad.net/4triggers. You hear about, sexy time. Watch replay. Oh yeah. Did you show that one? Watch replay. It was great. Thanks, buddy. Hey, look at this dude he said, tell the story again.
He needs to know. All right. The next 20, 30 minutes is going to be him repeating
the whole story. Verbatim.
Okay, so I promised on Reddit that I would ask Kyle's thoughts on Stefan Georgi's thoughts on RMBC. So Stefan Georgi is a copywriter. He also is in this same space where he is both a copywriter, a business owner, but also like sells information about copywriting. So we're all operating in this space. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're actually all going to go to a mastermind in Florida in October. Like it's a small world, and we're all
you have a lanyard right there. Actually, your Copy Legend lanyard.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically a mutual friend of ours reached out to the 30 best copywriters that he knows in the world, and he invited them all to a mansion in Florida.
His name's also Todd Brown.
His name's Todd Brown. And I was invited. Kyle was invited. So there you go. Stefan was also invited. Anyway.
At what point, how many hours of your channel before we switch to my channel?
What I want to do is get your answer to this, and then we'll do a hard reset.
I think all my guys have already fallen asleep off my channel.
Probably.
All right. By the way, I don't know if you just have a Discord channel. It's copysquad.net/light. LITE. Nah, all right. So I like having fun with Sean. He's a good sport. Isn't he, everybody? Ladies and gents. Nice guy. And he brought me, look, when I said I didn't. Look, okay, so listen. I know that this is like a label, right? Like this is like a label. It's like, oh, look at you. You drink Glenfiddich. Give me that thing.
A little bit of bitters in there will make your life delightful.
Hold on a second. Wait, let me see. Yeah, it's got that peaty shit to it.
All right, give that to me.
But anyway, yeah, so it's like that's the fancy one. But then Sean went out of his way to bring me this Kentucky bourbon. This kind of shit I like. It says, what's it say? Puncher's?
Puncher's chance.
Puncher's chance. I didn't know if it was a P or a D.
Can't tell.
Anyway.
Calligraphy is stupid. And anybody who does it is stupid.
You're going to get kicked out of your fucking nerd subreddit. It just says r/nerds. So, that Sean's a nice guy. So anyway, I was plugging something for some reason. Why was I plugging?
Because you're you.
Dude.
Let's talk about RMBC. So
wait. I was answering something. Hey, guy, what was I about to tell you that was going to change your life forever?
That I'm such a nice guy.
Sean's a nice guy. He's a nice fucking dude. Like, seriously, y'all be nicer to Sean. Send him money. He needs it.
You can do that by going to copythatshit.com. You can also do that by subscribing to youtube.com/copythat. And also, straight up, I just released a new product about marketing strategy called the copythat.myclickfunnels.com/marketing-strategy-complete.
Wait. Stop right there. Bring that back up.
Oh.
You ever heard of Pretty Links, bro?
I'd have. And also, we finished this product and got it up online at like the 11th hour.
Yeah,
it
but
was so slapdash.
You can legit say copythat.com/product. You copy that/.com product /buy.
I'm aware this is not going to drive any sales. However,
how is it? Okay.
People in the description are going to see like, oh, there are some links. And then they're going to click that. Like, why would I bother typing that when I could just go to the description and click the link? Which, by the way, if you go to the description and go to the link, yes. Also,
bad CTA. He never fucking said that till just now when I was like, no one's going to type that.
But because you're a guest, who did I put at the top?
Is that the legit? Is it a legit?
Yeah, that's your YouTube channel, dude. Because you're a guest.
I ain't gonna treat you so good.
Cheers. I think that's a little rude. Diet Coke against fucking actual alcohol. Come on. There you go.
All right. That's why I don't come to Baltimore. Y'all are bad influences on me.
Anyway.
Hey, look. So, I want to tell y'all a story real quick. I am from North Carolina. That's the whole story. Nah, but like, I am from North Carolina. I'm from the South. I grew up in a cornfield, literally. And so, I had this very deep Southern accent. And I actually started to hear it when I first started doing like my early YouTube videos. I heard myself talk. I heard myself speak. And I was like, ooh, you sound like ignorant, corn-fed hick. Come on, focus, motherfucker. And then so I actually beat the accent out of my own fucking voice for YouTube. I actually, when I talk, especially when there's a microphone present, I like have like a sort of rehearsed projection and dialect that I use.
Alcohol helps.
Alcohol destroys that control.
I was being ironic when I said the word helps.
So like a minute ago, like the more you listen, if you cueing in on it, you'll start to hear me. You'll see the Southern accent start to like slip out of me. Yeah. And I'll start saying like, Sean's a good boy.
Well, I memean, earlier, like you heard my family's brogue.
This motherfucker's still like, hey, yo, but seriously, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. He's like, when are you going to say something I care about? Hey, yo, now I want to be a professional streamer. This is the best thing ever. If only someone would send us $4.99 in a super chat, then I could feed my family.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, we got a question earlier.
Look, I know. Look, if you've ever made any money with copy, you would send us $4.99 right now in a super chat.
No, the people of
Let me know if the super chat function is broken, because my channel at Copy Squad definitely has it working. Because I receive super chats. I receive the best super chats all the time.
Hold on.
Come on, you broke mother. Nah, I don't want to hate
be
on
nice.
the channel.
Be nice.
Hey, so what were you wanting to know about?
RMBC. What is your opinion?
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's fine. Here's the thing. Here's a more elaborate answer. All right. So Kyle's sitting back, so I'll scoot forward. All right. So RMBC stands for Research, Mechanism, Brief, Copy. And really all that is, if you buy Stephan Georgi's product, is you learn how he does research. You learn how he thinks of mechanisms. You learn how he prepares a brief for a client. You learn how he prepares the copy. It is a process. Now, here's the thing. Zoom. Kyle and I actually, like, we're friends, but we actually have very different approaches to copy. He is all about the E-Myth Revisited, which is a book that you can buy. It's actually technically a book-a-log, but nobody ever thinks about it that way. And
it's nerdy shit.
It's copy nerdy shit, though. You should know that. And anyway.
You don't tell me that, which I already know.
Anyway, Kyle.
Yes! 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 Stop everything. Yes! Hold on. And he asked a very direct question. I have to give a direct answer.
Looks like I'm buying him a beer tonight.
All right.
Oh,
so,
God. Oh, God.
If you want to join a copywriting community full of hundreds of copywriters who are working every day on sharpening their mastery of the language of copy.
Copy that.
If you want thousands and thousands of pages of copy with my personalized notes.
Actually, Copy That doesn't have
margins. If you would like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of master classes on email trainings, headlines, advertorials, which Sean actually did our advertorial one. Ecom.
By the way, we have that at Copy That too.
And other shit.
But one of the members of Copy That also did the email ecom masterclass for Kyle too. We're like that, son.
Mm-hmm. If you want to hang out with Cody, who is all over
Cody's really cool.
Fucking place.
Cody's really, really cool. It's true.
You should check out copysquad.net/light. LITE. Where all this and more will be delivered to you. And also, there's like a lot of copy review, the daily practice. Really, what my Discord is about the immersion of like getting yourself immersed in the copy language. I built it just for that, where it's a daily fucking like dive into copy so that you can understand and speak and master the language of copy. Anyway. Oh, look at this. Cody is a fucking cheat. No, seriously, Cody's low-key famous on all these little Discords.
Yeah. So, for reference, Alex Myatt is one of the other co-owners of Copy That. He is also delightful. He's you know him well.
Yeah, he did our ecom masterclass. It was by him. He did it.
Yeah. It's funny, like I own Copy That. Like it's a joint partnership with one of my oldest business partners and friends. You know, we've been starting businesses together since 2016, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then two of my newest friends that I met online who really started, like when I joined the Copywriting Collective Discord, really started from like basically square zero and then just blossomed into these amazing, like fucking amazing careers as copywriters and marketers. Rod went the more brand copywriting direction, and Alex went the more marketing director like direction. And so Copy That is cool because you have me, who's, you know, you and I basically look the same, so we basically are the same.
It's cool because you're so cool.
I mean, kind of a fucking nerd, but I have a little like horcrux of nerdiness inside of me.
You did like that. Felt like an Iron Man, like the little.
It was actually a Harry Potter reference, you fucking nerd.
I know, but you did it like this. Like you were making a Harry Potter reference, but I kept thinking Iron Man. What is the thing called? This heart monitor thing is super hard.
Oh my goodness.
I actually love this person's username. That's so hilarious. Tate speech. Kyle, what do you enjoy the most about
You're not
your
allowed to
financial
answer that because he didn't donate money. This dude donated money. He gets an answer. Anyway. So,
Arc Reactor. This guy answered for us. This is the guy that's like, Kyle, would you say something about our NBC? God damn
and
it.
the answer was it's fine.
It's
Listen,
fine.
like
It is. It's fine.
what I was trying to say earlier, and I was going to answer this on r/copywriting.
What's funny is I literally derailed the whole thing or I didn't do it. He did it. He derailed the whole thing, but you were literally about to say something else. You
Yeah,
remember what
I
it
was. I was going to talk specifically about the differences between Stephen Georgi's RMBC and Kyle Milligan's Nesby.
I want to plug so bad.
No.
I just want to be like,
Bad.
Yo, if you want to learn about the basics of the new Easy, Safe, and Big Four selling emotions, you need to check out copysquad.net/4 triggers, dude. I'll teach you. I've got a whole PDF. It's totally free. Just enter an email address. You get this baller ass email we just sent out today, and it'll teach you everything about copywriting.
So here's the difference between RMBC, Stephen Georgi's RMBC, and Kyle Milligan. And this is actually everything I'm about to describe is going to be neutral, but I want you to understand that I prefer Kyle's approach better. Shut the fuck up, dude.
This is the chat. It's not my fault. It's the chat. This motherfucker at the bottom. Look at. Put it on there. I'm not gonna pitch. Just put it on there.
No, I know. Too funny. It's too funny. He's just like playing it.
Oh shit! Yes!
There you go. So the key difference between RMBC and Kyle Milligan's method and process is with RMBC, it's a from soup to nuts, like here's how you approach a copywriting project. And the last step in that process is the copywriting. Kyle's approach is the copywriting first. And one of the key pieces of understanding that he made early on in his selling information about copywriting career was that copywriting is different. It's a different register than normal everyday speech. It's a completely different language. It uses different codes. It signals different things. Saoirse, hello. So, Kyle, this is my daughter, Saoirse.
Saoirse.
Wow.
Very Irish name.
Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
Look at that.
Yeah,
She has an Irish nose.
Yeah, totally. I wonder where she got that from. Ugh.
Hello.
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 Hey.
After we're done streaming, do you want to go to dinner?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm gonna get these kids off of your stream.
Okay, lovely.
I'm sorry, she came running back here.
No, it's totally okay. By the way, Kyle, Kaylee, Kyle.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, other people watching the stream, watching us meet each other.
Saoirse, don't turn off the lights.
Uh-oh. There go the lights. Now you can all know it's just a normal room.
How many people are in there right now?
20.
Oh, hi, 20 people.
Well, see, Sean started talking, so like everybody started to leave.
Yeah, it's anytime I start talking, especially about nerdy stuff, like I just see the people.
It was like a 500.
It's a wife cameo and an Atlas.
A wifey-o. Oh, hello, Alice.
Oh, hi. There's not a
Boy.
picture views. All right, come on, Saoirse. Let's go in the meeting room.
All right, see you later.
I'm gonna play some Tetris.
Sounds good.
I'm jealous. Why I hang out with Sean? Well, you get to play Tetris.
Hell yeah.
We'll play Tetris later. Now that we're drunk, it'll actually be fun.
Oh, maybe I'll win.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
I got a
love
strategic
What-
advantage.
Yes, she's a little troublemaker.
She's totally a
Look
troublemaker.
at her grin. Look at her face.
Seriously, come on.
No,
She knows you don't want her to do that, and she's like,
No, she's the best. My daughter is so
This
cool.
is the best part of the stream, right?
Yeah, that's true.
This is like the real, what it's like in the MacIntyre household. Like the real.
Hi.
Alright, come here, Saoirse. Saoirse, you want Gabby? You want to watch Gabby?
So I feel like there's a gap here, so I should probably plug something.
Oh my god, plug my shit.
Oh my god. Okay.
Y'all check out Copy That. What is on the website that you guys have that I
Oh
can
my god,
plug?
good kick.
Alright, bye, y'all.
We have a free guide.
Is that
to-
door not closed?
It does close. I just am not going to.
You threw it in his head.
Oh my goodness. Copythatshow.com has a ton of stuff. Free guides, a glossary for copywriters. I made a calculator. I coded a calculator to determine how much you should charge for your services depending upon your experience level and the
coded
project.
A calculator.
Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd, dude. That's what I got over you. I got nothing else over you. Maybe height.
I'm not a giant person.
We also have a 21-day free guide that has our best YouTube videos delivered in sequence. We have a free guide that has a step-by-step process for getting started as a copywriter. And I don't want to leave Kyle out. I know he gets really sad. And so copysquad.net for triggers. What I was trying to say before we were so rudely interrupted by my adorable daughter.
Oh my god.
Was
Can I say your family is very adorable.
yeah, they're the fucking best. I love them so fucking
I just
much.
had such a good time in the last 2 seconds. It was just like
He had a better time meeting my family than he's had with me this entire time.
yeah. In the 2 minutes I've known them versus the 4 years I've known you, I like
6.
them better already.
It should feel like 10 because of how exhausting I am. Anyway,
This is a dude that says for fun, I coded a calculator, but that's his sales pitch.
yeah, so here's the thing. Kyle
That was so mean.
learned from Joe Schriefer in his interaction with Joe Schriefer that we live in an attention economy. One of the things that I want to laud Kyle for is the fact that he has learned that to succeed, you need to draw attention. A mutual friend of ours, Rob Braddock, also has learned that very well. And he has a different approach to drawing attention. For me, one of the things that I have cultivated was like, yes, you need to draw attention, but also I would prefer to optimize more for quality of a customer rather than quantity of a customer. And that's sort of the big difference between like Kyle and me. Like if you were to ask us, like if you were to look at Kyle's,
I go for the gutter.
no. Like you are more interested in spectacle and getting attention than I am, for example.
Fair enough.
All right. And so what does that optimize for? That one optimizes for attention, the other optimizes for quality. And so again, we both sort of end up in the same way. He ends up with more customers. I end up with more like a higher lifetime value of customer. But ultimately, the goal is the same.
We don't
Allegedly.
have data on this.
YouTube Studio is right here. He can look at it.
What would it tell me though? What data point would you use?
That's neither here nor there. But also,
it's exactly here and there.
okay.
Because you did make the claim that you get a higher LTV than me, and that's where I was like, wait a minute.
All right.
Wait a minute.
All right. Then I'm going to retract. I don't get a higher LTV than him.
Well, you might, but we just don't know.
We don't know. And because we market through YouTube, it's actually impossible to track. Anyway, when I am writing copy for like a business or financial business, I'm targeting a different thing. I'm trying to speak in a different way than Kyle does. If you put our copy side by side, you're going to notice some differences. And ultimately, when it comes to revenue, I would say in the course of his career, he has generated more revenue than I have. Part of the reason for that is because he's done more projects. That's also ties right back into the difference between Nesby, what he teaches in copywriting, versus Stefan Georgi. Do you see how skillfully I yoked that back together?
Yeah. You knew where you were going with it.
I knew where I was going with it. And so one of the things that he does, I think, exceptionally well is talk about how really it comes down to the copy. Like what is going on at the sentence level, at the paragraph level, at the idea level, and how is it connecting with an audience. And he has taken that and morphed it into a process for generating a lead. 7 pages to 7 figures? Good product. By the way, he came up with that after I came up with the idea for the name of that at a dinner. That was also an I Think You Should Leave reference. Anybody doubting. You need to work on your cultural capital, man.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly. And so the difference between Steph and Georgie that I see, and we're going to meet him in October, and I can just grill Stefan on this. We'll gang up on him.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. No, that one. That's my face. That dude said I'm your biggest fan. Hey, I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah, I don't have any fans that are
That
like that.
person has my face and Nesby as their profile. Hey,
We'll keep that up for you.
thanks.
Anyway,
I just want to say, hey, that person, they're a very nice person. They're probably very nice and successful and beautiful person.
I mean, yeah, especially if they look like you.
What is this? Look at this one. Did they change their name? There's another one. Am I a part of a bunch of bot accounts somewhere on the internet? Am I?
No, it's because you've started a cult. You've managed to get a lot of attention,
yeah.
which was my point. He gets a lot of attention. He's good at that. He's learned how to do that extremely well. The story that he told earlier, an hour ago, when he got his first job at Agora Financial, was all about the economy of attention. Rich Sheffrin actually has a really good report about this if you are a nerd and want to go that deep into the archives. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, is there are a lot of different ways to approach the actual writing of copy. Stephen Georgie's RMBC method, it's really good for producing a lot of copy. It gives you a set process. But when you get to the C part of RMBC, actually writing the copy, I think it fails a little bit. And I think his stuff succeeds a great deal. Now, of course, Copy That is better than either of them. Copy That has created multiple masterclasses that you can gain access to at hold on, I have the plug. Jesus fucking Christ, where is it?
If I was
There you
plugging
go.
something, I'd have it ready to go
Patreon.com/thecopy.
right away. I'd have the best plugs.
Yeah, the best plugs. Fucking getting indicted twice. Anyway.
And I would have left it on the page. I wouldn't have no shame about it. I would put that motherfucker up there.
No, it comes down. Because what I want to do is... Hold up. No, it's this.
Yeah, if you want to get more of that, you need to go to copysquad.net/LITE light.
Oh, too good. Anyway, I just spent the last 20 minutes trying to bumblefucking my way through a description of why I prefer Kyle's method to Stephen Georgie's method. I think it's more important for you. I think it's more important for you, especially if you're a newbie, to learn that you're effectively inundating yourself with a new language, a whole set of context, and a whole set of subtext that you have not been familiar with before. You probably sit around and watch a lot of TV. You probably play a lot of video games. You fucking suck. Now, here's the thing. When you start reading copy, you're going to encounter text, a lot of text that says things, and you're just like, that just feels like, I'm being sold a Honda Odyssey 2019. But what is it actually saying? And as you go through, you are going to get a lot more subtext, and you're going to understand that every single sentence of a piece of long-form copy and short-form copy is a code. And it is sending you coded messages. And you don't realize what's going on, but your brain does. Your brain recognizes the subtext, the actual language of copy. And if you were receptive to actual sales messages, you would pick up on the fact that what is being said is not the only thing that's being said. There's more that's being said. That is the heart of what he teaches. I don't know what I fucking teach. Who even knows?
What?
What?
You say I5?
No, I said I don't even know what I fucking teach. You're drunk.
So listen, when it comes to the Stephen George eye stuff. So I bought RMBC and I went through the program.
How was it?
It was good. It was really good.
Yeah,
And
we're not knocking him. I'm stating a preference, but my preference is towards stuff that explores things at a sentence level, at a persuasion level. I don't give a shit about the processes. He cares about the processes a little bit, but he cares about stuff at the sentence level. Like, what are the codes? What is the subtext? What are you communicating when you write? Blah, blah.
Yeah. So for me, I am a big process guy. Like that does matter to me. RMBC, I like it for the fact that it is a process. Like it's a guy who codified what his process is, and for that I have much respect for it. This is how he replicates success.
Pour me another.
Piece by piece. You want any more ice? Are you good?
No, I'm good.
This is something else I think is really important. I rarely, I don't know if you can find an example of me.
You need to be topped off too.
I don't know if you can find an example of me bad mouthing a marketer. Like I know the game. I understand what we're doing here. One of the reasons I'm an Andrew Tate fan, which I hesitate to say right now because of his current circumstances. I respect his marketing savvy. And it drives me nuts when professional marketers start talking about the content of his message and not the delivery or the deliverability or the vehicle of his message. I respect the game. Like, it's not easy to do what he did. It's not easy to reach that level of fame. Whether you agree with his content or not is your problem. I'm saying I respect that. He's one of the smartest marketers. Like, holy shit, he became famous, the most famous person, like, in the matter of weeks. Like, that is not an easy thing to do. You try to do it. So,
again, attention economy. I was talking about getting attention.
Thank you. So,
I'm going
to read this in just a second. I completely respect the RMBC method and what it represents. And I have my own version of that. I call it Beats of the Sales Letter. And so, what I'm probably going to end up doing.
Are you going to plug again? Are you going to do like a fair and balanced plug of copy that as you do it?
Sure. What I'm going to probably end up doing is hosting live webinars where I teach the Beats of the Sales Letter methodology. I'm probably going to do it all live because I've thought to sit down, like when I did 7 pages of 7 figures, which is, I did 7 pages of 7 figures, which is my course on how to write leads.
I came up with the name, by the way.
And it took me, I thought it was going to be a 2-hour thing. I was going to sell for like $100. It took me like weeks, and the course ended up being like over like 10 hours or something. I was like, holy shit, I realized I have to unpack every concept, And so when I wanted to approach a whole sales letter, like the Beats of a Sales Letter is my thing. And I was like, I can't. It's too daunting. So I think I'll probably end up doing like as a live webinar like 3 or 4 times and then record the webinars.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm a process guy. I will say that for me and financial copy, RMBC doesn't necessarily make logical sense because RMBC doesn't follow the formula that works in financial publishing, which the Beats of a Sales Letter is a lot more because RMBC is so detailed. It literally is like, hey, here's this line, this line, this line, this line, this line. And for me, I'm introducing concepts more in the way that Evaldo does with his 10 questions, which are the lead. There's 4 major questions in a sales letter. What's in it for me, which is your lead?
Who the fuck are you?
How is this possible?
Yeah.
And inside of how is this possible, you're going to introduce some sort of core origin story. Who are you? These sorts of pieces, like what's the problem? Who are you? And what's the force of nature behind this that's happening? So for P90X, I always use that as the easy one. The force of nature is muscle confusion. The mechanism are the exercises. I'll talk about this in the YouTube channel a little bit too.
Hold on really quick. We have a Sean's fanboy, but also he said Tate's emails. He started reading. You instantly understand.
Oh, here's your fanboy, likes Tate. And okay, so he gets to get shout out.
I want to talk about Andrew Tate in just a moment. But so the third bit of a sales letter.
How does it work? That's the mechanism section.
Mechanism.
So
the
this
M in RMBC.
Exactly. So me and Todd Brown, actually are like almost.
Todd Brown is a G.
Yeah, and so when I say Todd Brown, I say his literal full first and last name because he's such
an important figure in the direct response and copywriting space, this is a spot where like I almost go a little bit like against Todd Brown, which is in its own like saying that out loud if you're in the space is like what? But like he's a big mechanism guy.
He's a big idea and mechanism guy, and that's because he was very influenced by Rich Shepherd and Mark Ford, which is the same influences that I got.
Mhm.
That's why I'm a big idea guy, and you're not.
Yeah, I'm a force of nature guy. So when I was at the thing this week at the event and I was on stage and I was telling them like, hey man, you don't need to sell me on gold. You need to sell me on there's something that just happened at a mine, and if you don't act now, like gold is okay, here's what it is. Inflation.
Mm-hmm.
So the way inflation works is there's a mass printing of dollars. So every dollar becomes worth a little bit less. It's not as useful. Because like what are you gonna
Too many dollars chasing too few goods.
The goods number stays the same and the dollars number is bigger. That causes inflation. Gold is that thing that doesn't get inflated. It's like Bitcoin. It's just this is how much gold there is. So instead what you need to
2 Olympic-sized swimming pools, by the way. That's how much gold has been mined in all of human history.
Right. So it's not a lot. So what you can say is instead of trying to sell me on gold or the value of gold or the current strike price or this or that, what you could say instead is, listen, in the last blah, blah, blah years, we've seen this much inflation. Recently, after 2020 and COVID, we saw the monetary Fed chart go like this. Show the chart. And then you can be like, what does this mean for you? It means for every dollar that you had that was this valuable, it just became this much less valuable. This is a specific line to how unvaluable your dollar is. And in regards to that, there's one thing that will never have that sort of influx or blah, blah, blah. You could tell like some sort of story and say, and that's gold. You don't have to sell me on gold. You sell me on inflation. And I'll say, well, how do I guard myself against this? That's what a force of nature is. Don't sell me on the mechanism. Sell me on inflation. And then I'll say, inflation is real. It's scary. And I need to get out of it. I need to figure out a safe haven. Now I will beg you for gold. And that's where I say me and Todd Brown are opposites, because Todd Brown comes at it from a mechanism standpoint. I come at it from a force of nature standpoint. And so like neither way is right or wrong. They both work.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely like, sell me on the force of nature and I will demand your mechanism of you. And that's how I found success in my writing.
One of the things that we try to talk about and Copy That at youtube.com/copy that. And if you subscribe to patreon.com/the Copy That show, is the fact that all of this depends. All of this is contingent. There are many roads that lead to Rome. Like, for example, a lot of people have been sold on the idea that the way to get clients is through cold emailing. But here's the thing. That was a sales pitch. There are actually many ways to get clients. There are many ways to get hired as a copywriter. There are many myriad ways one can get into copywriting and make $1 million per second. Like, that's all possible. Now, here's the thing. Everything that he just said is highlighting the fact that people have discovered that there are various myriad ways to make this work. I'm more of a big, I approach things from a like, what is the big resonant story that nobody is talking about right now? And it takes me a long time to research that. And so here's the thing. I'll produce he's doing something promotional right now.
I'm really not. I'm just.
It's like the opposite of a plug, where it's like he's just doing stuff that he's going to add to an email. I'm going to tell you the subject line of his next story email that is going to go out probably tomorrow. The first thing I noticed was Big Butt Goku on his mantle. That's going to be the subject line.
Is there a Big Butt Goku somewhere?
On my first floor mantle, yes. There's a Goku, but he is wearing a thong and he has a huge ass.
I didn't notice that.
But here's the thing. For copy purposes, the subject line has to be, the first thing I noticed was Big Butt Goku. And that's going to be your hook to get a bunch of people on your list to be like, what the fuck? And then click. And they're going to open your email and they're going to have a whole story about your interactions with me. And like also where they can go to learn more about what you talked about on the stream. which specifically is this. Ta-da!
I was just letting you do your thing, and inevitably, my plug powers are so powerful. Your talk now ends in a plug for copies. Copy, haha! It works.
You just call me a good copywriter.
Oh, you know what?
Just leave it at that.
Listen, there's something important here you brought up earlier.
Oh my God.
It was actually this. I actually never read this. You brought it up earlier, and I clicked it away. Fact: Take Their Money was one of the first copywriting books I read, and it helped set me in the right direction, up there with scientific advertising for setting the right foundation. Go buy it. Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate that. And you are a straight top G.
So before we hard reset, by the way, we need to go to dinner. Like, my family needs to eat at some point in the next 30 minutes or so. So, like, we've just streamed for 2.5 hours. That's going to be on Copy That, by the way. The next 20 minutes or so is going to be on Kyle Milligan's Copy Squad.
20 minutes. What up? What up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle. I really gotta go now, so it's great talking. Peace out.
Kyle's fanboy. I read your book and I love it. Now I know how to dissect any piss of copy and improve through it. It makes a whole process.
You know what he meant.
Of learning copy so easy. I can
recommend it.
Recommend
you know
it to anybody. Check out his book.
You know what he meant.
By the way, if you ever need to check the grammar or the spelling of what you're doing, just read your stuff out loud to yourself.
I mean,
No, that's a tip. That's a pro tip.
But like, wait.
Blip.
If
No.
English isn't his first language, he can't. He reads this out loud. It sounds perfect to himself. You don't know that. That's very judgmental of you.
That's actually very true. You made a very good input. Like, I didn't realize how woke you were.
I am. So listen, I love Latin.
That was extremely, extremely sensitive and extremely insightful. That was a really good point. I was insensitive there, and you corrected me, and he was totally right. I should not have been so rude.
Sean's a very nice boy. Listen, I salsa dancing is like one of my favorite pastimes, and that puts me in the realm of a lot of Latin people, and a lot of Latin people are very sensitive about English being their second language, and whether or not they're doing it right. And so sometimes I slip up and I make jokes, but
same.
But like for the most part, like anyone who's learning a second language, my hat's off to you. Americans only know one language, and it's how to speak American. So like I respect anyone who knows more than two languages.
Exactly. We're both an ally, is what he's trying to say.
So I want to know what people think about this "I'm not touching you" ad. I get so much hate. Have you seen this ad? No. "I'm not touching you" ad?
I have not.
It just literally is me doing this, and it goes, "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you," and it's a pattern interrupt. And I feel like I take too long to get to it. I take way too long to get to why I said I'm not touching you at the beginning. But people, it drives them nuts. They get mad as fuck about this "I'm not touching you" ad. What do you think, Zach? You like that ad? You hate it?
I mean, people get mad about every ad. And the reason why they get mad at ads is because they don't like thinking about the fact that they are caught up in a consumerist capitalist system that they cannot escape. They don't like that the fact that their attention has been diverted. It's the reason why a lot of copywriters do not turn off ad block. They actually secretly do not actually want to have their attention taken away from whatever it is they're doing.
I don't think it's secret. I think everybody hates ads.
I love ads. I was 11 years old and I straight up was collecting direct response mail.
So this person right here, what is the connection between baldness and copywriting? I can tell you right now.
Every great copywriter on the planet wears glasses and is bald and has a beard. Every single great one. I'm lying, but also it's true.
You're pretty close. I'll tell you what it is. Also, something else that you might
high testosterone leads to baldness.
Something else you might not realize about copywriters. I noticed this when I got to Agora. They're also not very tall.
That's why I'm a failed copywriter. I actually am, like, I'm totally trading on my past successes
Well, the thing is, you sit in a chair, so no one here can tell that you're a trader who's above 5'7".
No, I gave you that chair so that you didn't look like a fucking midget.
Wait, look at it! I want to answer your question in a second. This dude said, "What if I can't go here?" Wait. Basically, yes. So Tyler Murphy, who's my designer, I don't know if I should call him out by name, but Tyler is my designer and also writes our emails and also does a lot of email coaching inside of Copy Squad Lite, which is copysquad.net/lite if you want to join that program. He does coaching every single week for our members. Anyway, he couldn't grow a beard before he joined Copy Squad Lite.
No, it's a full fucking shaggy beard. He became more of a man.
And now he has a fucking luscious mane. So anyway, okay. So this guy said, what's the connection? The connection is I have a legitimate answer to this.
I think it's related to testosterone, but go on, please.
I think testosterone does make sense, but I honestly I think testosterone could be like a tertiary, and I'm going to say the secondary thing, control. I feel like people who get into copy, in a way, it starts from a place of analysis, like where you are almost sort of trying to, from the outside, as an outsider, looking in on human social dynamics and wanting to be like a puppet master, and you want to make you want to have like control over your social situation. There is that sort of awkwardness amongst copywriters when you start to see this when you meet a bunch of them.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it actually comes from the short stature, the balding, and then when you're balding, you often can grow a beard because it's a testosterone thing.
Yeah.
I honestly think this is a real fucking thing. Because if you were in the room with the top copywriters, you would be like, everyone here is under 5'8" and fucking bald and has a beard.
For me and Ivaldo.
Yeah. Ivaldo's Brazilian. He can't help it. It's not his fault.
That's true. You know, Kyle and I went. Hold on. Kyle and I went to go get mixers for drinks before this stream. And one of the things that we were talking about, we talked about a lot of stuff. He and I call each other with just random, like, hey, I just want to talk about something philosophical for a little bit. And then we end up talking for like 6 hours. And one of the things we were talking about on the way home, on the way here, was something that I had noticed, which is that every successful copywriter I've ever known in my entire life has a chip on their shoulder. And the bigger the chip, the more successful. And guess what? The biggest chips I've noticed are in short, white, bald men.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
And part of that, I think, has to do with the feeling that right now, and I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is how people feel. Again, copywriting. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters how the prospect feels. A lot of men feel right now that their power is being usurped, that their power is being taken away, that a certain group of people have been stripping away the things that allow them to be men, that allow them to be powerful, that allow them to be successful. And as a result, you see a lot of people marketing to that pain point. Andrew Tate being one of them. And that pain point, whether or not it is true, is real. They feel that. And as a result of that pain point, they want what they think they are owed. They want what they think they are entitled to. And so one of the things that you encounter a lot in copywriting is that people will have sort of notions about the world and the way the world should be, regardless of like whether or not that's grounded in reality. And so you have a choice. Do you sell leaning into that notion? Or do you ignore that notion and try to sell to somebody else? One of the things that you need to keep in mind when it comes to copywriting is that everybody has desires, notions, and identities. Desires, notions, and identities. Desires, hey, I want a lot of money. He just went to a conference where everybody was talking about, like, hey, look at this mine. It's going to make a lot of money. Chart. They were speaking to the logical aspect of desire. They weren't understanding that monetary gain is attached to bigger desires that are attached to notions and identities. And notions about the world, what is true, and identities, do you fit into some sort of bigger piece of the world? And also, do you stand against some other aspect of the world? That's all part of it too. You have to be conscious as a copywriter of these things. If you are not, you're not going to be a super successful copywriter. You might be a mediocre one. But if you want to be a super successful copywriter, you're going to understand that like every single person has desires, notions, identifications, identities that you need to tap into and you need to speak to in order to speak to them well, in order to sell what you were trying to sell, in order to convince them that you are the person that they are talking to. Now, here's the thing. I spoke earlier about the difference between Andrew, like he loves Andrew Tate. I don't love Andrew Tate. But here's the thing. I personally think Andrew Tate is a marketing fucking genius. And if you look at the history of Andrew Tate's career, he learned early on what it takes to be a marketing genius. His whole career before he became Andrew Tate was actually at agencies. He was doing TV placements. He was doing work that then parlayed into what he was doing else. And he worked at those things while he was becoming a champion kickboxer. Now, here's the thing. Andrew Tate, what you see on TikTok and on streams, is a character.
He's also bald.
He's also bald.
Has a beard.
And also, like, if you stripped away his beard, like, you would see that is the most recessed jaw that you ever saw on the planet. And so, dude needs an orthodontist, like, for real. I hope they have those in a Romanian prison, which is where he's going to end up. Anyway.
Allegedly.
My gripe with Andrew Tate is actually something else that he and I were talking about before, which is that when you are speaking about a topic, when you are talking about a larger idea, you typically use rhetoric. You typically are either bombastic, you typically have some larger thing to say.
And this is, you said that I do this. Like, I speak bombastically.
But here's the thing. Like, there's a threshold. There's a point where your rhetoric and your following, they don't hear that it's rhetoric anymore. There are certain Andrew Tate fans that understand that what he's saying is metaphorical, that what he's saying is like a generalization, that what he's saying is an attempt to make a larger point about society that ultimately people are not talking about. And I think that's part of Andrew Tate's genius, which is that he is able to speak in generalizations and also rile people up enough that he gains a lot of attention. That is marketing genius.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. I personally, this is just me, believe that there is a threshold, a point at which you are going to have some percentage of people that understand the grift, that understand that what you're trying to do is that. Then you're going to have another group of people that don't understand. You're going to have another group of people that actually do say, yeah, what he's saying about women in general, that's actually universally true. And I think that personally, I believe that you can get to a point in your rhetoric where you're now saying not something that can be generalizable and helpful, but also generalizable and harmful. I think Andrew Tate crossed that line. That's my opinion. Your floor is yours.
Your floor is yours. Yes, it is. I bought it. So you're saying, is there anything specifically? Am I supposed to like? Are we doing like a sword thing where I'm like, ha?
I mean, it's up to you. We can also like do a hard reset and then like record some material that is going to appear on your channel. But also, like, I would love to just like walk to a food place and like grab food with you.
Yeah, I know. You're like, how do we get out of this? We're stuck in this. We're stuck in the Matrix.
Oh no.
Anyway,
Here's the thing about the Matrix. Like Andrew Tate uses the metaphor of the Matrix, taking the red pill. Guess what happens to people who take the red pill and wake up from the Matrix? They get woke and up. They get woke. That's how you exit the Matrix.
So the thing is, it works both ways. The woke thing goes both ways. Like as extreme he goes one way, wokeness goes the same thing. It goes the other way. Like
Hold on. I love this comment.
he is not in prison. He is in hospital. It's true though. He's not wrong. That guy's not wrong.
As though that were a fucking distinction. Guess what? I'm on neither.
You're not in Romania.
Oh God. Thank God.
So anyway, I don't even know where to start. I guess what brought this all up was that I recognized and I stated that like there was a person out there who knows how to channel attention, and he's very good at it.
Oh, so good.
And for that, I salute him. I understand. That's the thing. Like us watching this circus play out, you do not know the truth. And so on one side, you have this emotional reaction to his message where you're like, I hope he goes to jail. On the other side, you resonate with his message. It's like, no, he's my mentor and he taught me the way. I feel like I sit in the middle where I'm like, he's just a dude who's really good at marketing. I definitely, if he's innocent, I hope he doesn't go to jail. If he's guilty, he should probably go to jail.
Same way.
And it's like, I don't get emotionally attached to the fact that I see a guy who's working the marketing game. And it drives me nuts when I see marketing professionals get animated on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram and on YouTube. They're like, oh, this guy's this way or that way. And it's like, have you ever written a sales letter? Yeah. And you would like stand before God on that sales letter and be like, you know, I was trying to do my best to get the guru's voice out there. Like, I'm just trying so hard. So one of the things, like when people ask me what I do, and I say I'm a writer, and they say, what do you write? And I say, I write whatever their message is. That's not, my job is not to have a fucking platform. My job as a writer is
He's a vessel.
I am the guy that helps that other guy get their message out there. And so therefore I have to drop judgment. I can't be a judgmental, like, and what's crazy is a lot of times the more you do this, the bigger, more bombastic characters know that they're playing a character.
Yeah.
The 10X Grant Cardones, like the
look at a Grant Cardone video from 2008. He sounds like a reasonable, rational, perfectly cool human.
They just know, like, no one's going to pay attention to me unless I take this message. Your camera hates focusing on me.
It's because we have, like, two people at different distances.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, these people, when you work with gurus and you're writing to sell their message, and you talk to them behind the curtain, and you're just, like, hanging out with them, having lunch, and, like, hey, what's your philosophy? Like, you're asking them reasonable questions. They're reasonable people. And they know they have to hedge. And they hedge when they're talking to you at lunch. But whenever you're writing a sales letter, you have to come with that conviction. You have to come with that, like, almost like inalienable sort of assertiveness, or else people won't listen. And therein is the human psychology. And the mass of people are sheep. The mass of people just want to be told what to do and what to believe. And you can target that mass of people with confidence and absolute certainty in your messaging. And that requires not backpedaling. You know who figured this out? Politicians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Politicians. I don't know how Gavin Newsom is still the governor of California. I'm pretty sure everything went to shit. Everyone was like, impeach this guy, and he was like, it's good. And
Everything's fine.
he's smiling. Hey, California's done great. I don't know anything about politics, but I understand marketing and I understand human psychology. And I was watching
Politics is
that go
just
down.
marketing. If Rod is still working, he was a political speechwriter, and it's the same thing. If you want to write for politics, learn copywriting.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I was watching what was happening on the news with Callie and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, this guy's done. I was like, this guy's done. But he went out there and he just smiled and was like, nah, this is cool. I love getting impeached. It's not a big deal. And everything like went away. Because everyone was like, ah, he seems cool, he's chill. And it was just like, because I hate to say it, guys. I hate to say it, but that is the way the world works. And if you get like super aggravated by this, or if you get super triggered, if you can't do that, and you can't operate in the marketing space.
Yeah. I think about the Bud Light campaign. You know, like, so for context.
Look at this, look at this, look at this.
Oh, it's Uber. Business opportunity. Instead of using your hand to refocus the camera, use a paper sign with pitch link. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. Make sure that my pitch should be on there too.
I know. Look, it shouldn't even be mine because wait. I disagree now. I'm changing positions.
He's
on this.
grown, he's learned.
It
He's like a normal human.
It should be mine because all the content is on his channel. We've been doing this for 3 hours. We didn't go to my channel. If you want to know anything about me and my channel, you check out this thing. And I don't want to.
Here, top me off.
I don't even want to now. Like now, I just want to go to dinner.
Yeah, we need to eat. We've been drinking on an empty stomach for 3 hours.
Touche.
I forget what I was going to talk about. Shit, I am drunk.
No, we are definitely. I'll say this too. We're too drunk to be having this stream right now. And what I mean by that is like we'll probably say like we're approaching that point where you'll say some shit off the cuff and you'll be like, oh fuck, I didn't. And then here's the problem: the people on the other side of the camera will take it as gospel.
You know what? The only thing that I regret saying at any point in this entire stream so far that I can recall is calling you a fucking midget. I actually feel like that was extremely disrespectful, and I'm sorry that I said that.
I'm okay with. Okay, I appreciate you saying that, and that actually gives me an opportunity to basically say like, let me tell you a story. I had a girlfriend who was like, so I'm about 5'7", 5'8", somewhere in the mix up, right in the middle of
6'1".
He's taller than me by a lot. I'm 5'7", 5'8", and my last girlfriend was whatever the height I am, 5'7.5". She was like within a quarter of an inch taller than me. And when we would go out, I live in Florida. I live in South Florida. When we would go out, she put on these nice big heels, and she would be like 2 or 3, 4 inches taller than me, depending on the size of her heel. And I became a person who was very much like, I like this, because when we would go out and I had this girl on my arm. No, I had this girl on my arm.
Here's the thing. He would be able to be like, yeah, and then show off his bicep.
But no, I had a girl on my arm, and she's about this tall to me. The way that people would look at me and the situation would be like, what's going on with that dude? What's he packing? So like there's a thing that like people might be like super bugged up about the height thing, and I'm like, no, it's cool because like when I get a taller girl and then see that, and it's like people are like, whoa, another one. I salsa dance and I dance bachata. All those girls always when you're a female dancing salsa or bachata, you wear heels, just a dancing shoe, and those girls are actually kind of tall a lot of the times, and you kind of just get used to girls being taller than you want to dance for because they're wearing these giant ass heels. So that's my moment to say, like, hey, man, I hear what you're saying, but it's first off, it's okay because
he's texting a girl, by the way. He keeps pulling out his phone and texting a girl.
I would never.
He's trying to like end up in somebody else's bed tonight.
I'm not ending up in his bed.
No, he's not ending up in our bed, but we do have a nice guest room. He's seen it.
So wait a minute.
It's where Rod sleeps when he stays here.
Anyway, I'm cool with it. I think that the coolest thing you can do, the coolest thing you can do is be cool with it. Like, this is fucking life advice. Like, if you're 5'7", 5'8", and you aren't like 6'1" or whatever the fuck ever, the coolest thing you can do, or if you're fucking, shave your fucking head if your shit's not super thick. Like, be cool with it. The coolest thing you can do is be cool with it. A lot of our people are 17, 18 years old. Like, they're trying to get in the game. They don't know what to do. They don't want to go to college.
Yeah.
They watch the internet a lot. And I'm telling you, dude,
what I say to them is just lean into it.
Yeah, is be cool with it. The coolest thing you can do is be cool with it. Look, how do I not get this vulgar?
Get it vulgar. It's 3 hours into a 1 hour stream. We need to go eat. I'm hungry. I'm drunk. Where's my liquor?
Look,
there. Boom.
Here's what I'm saying, dude. Because there are, I got dudes like 15 years old in my group at copysquad.net/light, LITE.
We have a fucking banner. You just click it.
So anyway, but there are people I get dudes asking me fucking life advice and shit. Coolest thing you can do is be cool with it. Like, I am a dude in a lot of ways that should not have as much success as I do, as I guess is what I'm saying. Is I'll tell you this. I reject a lot of the red pill and Sigma male bullshit that's on the fucking internet.
Why?
The reason I reject it is because it says, man, I respect David Goggins, but a lot of that shit that people take from his book and they decide to apply to their life is harmful.
Are we talking about copies still?
Well, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. So listen, this whole idea of bury yourself in a fucking closet and become this, you work on your business and you get a 6-pack, dude. I told Sean today, girls don't give a fuck about your 6-pack. Girls don't give a fuck, bro. As a matter of fact,
I'm a testament to that.
Not only that, their favorite muscle group, I'll tell you, I've surveyed them, your back.
Shoulders and back.
Your back.
Yeah.
They like the back. They want to see the V shape. They don't give a fuck about your 6-pack.
It's because they're pegging you.
Why you take it there?
Because you're on my stream.
Anyway, look. So this idea of build your business up, be on your purpose, get a 6-pack. I think that's all fine advice. But then the fucking marketers take it to the extreme and they say something like disappear for a year. No, motherfucker. No. If you want to get laid, because all these dudes are trying to tell you how to get laid. And they're like, oh, disappear for a year. When you come out and you're so rich and no one gives a shit. I'm telling you what. God damn it.
It's because I'm leaning back. It's trying to focus on a face and our faces. In order for me to seem the same size as you, I have to be back here.
What the fuck? Are you coming at me right now?
I mean, you did swipe right on Grindr.
So listen. Most of these motherfuckers, these pro red pill, alpha male, all of that shit is about getting laid. It's all about pussy.
Yeah,
it all
pretty
comes
much.
back to getting laid.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you want to get laid, the last thing you want to do is disappear for a year. You're not going to get any pussy in your fucking closet, work on your fucking business. I'll tell you this. Look at me. I will tell you that when I went out,
you could have just said, "Look at Sean."
Look at this. I'm gonna tell you something. When you fucking go out, to the bar, no one cares that I'm the copy squad guy. No girl cares that, dude. I don't like to say it out loud for whatever reason. It always makes me cringe. I brought home. I put in my bank account 7 figures when I was 32 years old. In a year. Cash. I put it in my bank. I made that many dollars in 1 year. I am a millionaire. I don't talk about this. I don't like to fucking say it. It makes me feel gross. I hate it. I hate when people ask me. I don't like to talk about it, but I am I'm a millionaire. They don't care about that either.
I'm not even a millionaire.
They don't care. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
All right? They don't care about my YouTube channel. They don't care about my money. They don't care about any of this other bullshit that they fucking try to tell you to do. And I'll tell you what else. The most that I ever was having success were the periods in my life where I was like broke and unemployed. And then also when I didn't have a fucking six pack. Because I'll tell you what, you're boring as shit. You're boring as shit when you're like, I can't drink. I got to get my six pack on. I eat my fucking meal prep bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. Like if you're just out having a good time going to flow and all this bullshit, I can definitely tell I'm drunk because I never say this in 99% of streams. But like I'm telling you, my young men friend dudes, it all comes down to like just being like chill with yourself. This goes back to the whole thing about like being bald and all that, being not tall or whatever. Like, dude, I had a tall girlfriend. It's not a big fucking deal. I had
Not a
like,
big deal.
like none of this shit's a big fucking deal. That's like the key to like being the pimpest version of yourself is like that line. It's not a big deal. Nothing's a big deal. If she comes home, she sleeps with you that night, not a big deal. She doesn't sleep with you. She tells you you're a clown and she hates you. Not a big deal. None of it's a big deal. The coolest, chillest, pimpest shit you can do is literally summed up in not a big deal. If there's any females on earth who watch this stream that can confirm, please do. Like, let dudes know. What do girls like then? Girls like confidence.
It's basic. And I was saying this to Kyle earlier today, and it like I saw the light bulb open in his mind, which is it's basic Dale Carnegie shit. How to win friends and influence people. Winfluence. Haha, I'm drunk. Anyway, girls want to feel valued. Girls want to feel valued.
I have a disclaimer though. As soon as you said that, finish your thing.
Hold on.
Bookmark.
Put a pin on. Bookmark.
Yeah, you fucking say put a pin. I say bookmark.
There you go.
All right, I'll put a pin in it.
Girls, women, they want to feel valued. It doesn't matter if you're dating somebody for the first time. It doesn't matter if you've been dating somebody for 3 years. It doesn't matter if you're married to somebody. Make them feel like they are valuable. Now, here's the thing. Bonus points if it's sincere. But it doesn't matter whether it's sincere or not, as long as your actions are the same. Make them feel valued. Show them that you value them. And also, by the way, this is also copywriting advice. People in general want to feel like they are valued. People want to feel valuable. People want to feel like they are part of something bigger. People want to feel like they are contributing something bigger. People want to love and to be loved. That, he's texting somebody who wants to fuck tonight. People want to yearn. The moment that yearning ends, desire ends, you might as well be the living dead. That's why people have affairs. Now, here's the thing. You want to keep the yearning alive. Doesn't matter how you approach it. Every single person is different. And you need to understand copywriting tactic, your prospect, in order to keep the yearning alive. That's true whether you're writing a long-form sales letter. It's true whether you're dating somebody. That is the secret to both being a good copywriter and being a good romantic partner. You understand that people yearn for something. And you give them a pathway to fulfilling that yearning.
I'm going to bring that back up real quick, 1 second. So I had one fucking disclaimer on the Dale Carnegie angle. Make them feel valued. Which is basically a prelude. It's a prologue to what Sean said. They want to feel valued by you, but first you have to be valuable. And this is where Red Pill gets it all fucked up.
Yeah.
Is Red Pill focuses only on the idea of like, well, if I had $1 million, I'd be valuable. Well, if I had a six-pack, I'd be valuable. If I did this, I'd be valuable. They want to feel valued by someone who has value to give. And what do they want? Like, how can you be that dude? It is this line. It's cool. I'd love it if it happened. But I'm not distraught if it doesn't. I don't care. There's a fucking lifetime of learning and growth in that line.
Girls want what they can't get. Red pill equals features, not benefits.
I think that's a really nice way to put it, Sean's fanboy. So Kyle's fanboy. I don't know who's making it. How do you spin up these accounts like this so fast?
They just changed their name.
You can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay, wait.
hold on. I have such a big monitor that I can't find my mouse sometimes. General, hold on. By the way, Kyle, talk up how big my monitor is.
Son of a fuck. I was like, I know there's some sort of dick joke coming.
Totally.
All right. So anyway, bring that back though. This is important. Don't girls what they want that can't get.
No, it's
All
not
right.
true.
Here's the thing.
Hmm.
Because you're thinking so tactically.
Hmm.
You're thinking, how do I create the environment where she feels?
You need to be
like-
holding some whiskey for.
You're thinking, how do I create the environment where she feels she can't get me? You're
Hmm.
thinking tactically. No, think strategically. And
Or
this-
principally.
that's fine. Another way to put it, which is that you are a guy who's like, I'm cool if it happens. I'm not distraught if it doesn't. And when they pick that up, when they recognize that you're just like, you're cool with yourself, this goes back to the bald thing, the short thing, the beard thing. When you're cool with yourself, all this shit takes care of itself. Like, do you know how many? Okay, one time I was at a wedding.
Oh God.
I'm really bad at weddings. I'm really bad at any
I love
public
weddings.
gathering.
I will go to any wedding. I
That's
will go
because
to
he's
any
a
public
fucking
gathering.
nice boy. I'm not. I'm weird. So anyway, I'm at a wedding.
I'm really good at networking.
and
He's
there's-
really bad at networking.
I'm really bad at networking. You won't believe how bad I am. It's weird. So anyway, I'm at a wedding, and this woman, she's like in her late 50s, early 60s,
Oh, God.
sitting beside me, and she is definitely into your boy. She's into you, boy. Like she's widowed or something, and she's like a matriarch. Like she's like an alpha, some bullshit. She said some stupid shit to me. She said like,
Be nice.
she said some stupid shit to me. I was sitting there and she said some stupid shit like, my drink's out. And I was like, oh, what a bummer. And she was like, go get me another one. And I said, no. And so she like got like offended when I would not get up. She's like, are you not a gentleman? I said, I'm not getting you a drink. Not when you talk to me like that. So she said, fine. If you're not man enough, I'll go get my own drink. She said that if you're not man enough, I'm gonna go get my own drink. So this like late 50s, early 60s woman gets up, goes get her own drink, comes back, sits down. And then like that you call there's words for these things. But what she was essentially doing, it's called the shit test in like the PUA community. And I was like, no, you don't talk to me that way. Like, I'm cool with myself. I don't need to supplicate to you. I know my boundaries. I know my value. I don't have to assert my dominance on you. When she talked to me that way, I was like, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking say, wait a minute, do you know who I am? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't get like aggressive. I was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so when that happened, she goes and does her thing. She comes back, she sits down. And then all of a sudden, everything sort of changed in our dynamic where she all of a sudden was a lot nicer to me. Like, because I was like, I will not respond to you if you talk to me that way. I absolutely won't tolerate it. And then by the end of the night, she was like, have you met my daughter or my niece over here? My niece, blah, blah, blah. And she was like trying to like, hey, you should go talk to her. She was like, she was trying to get me to like go do all this other bullshit. So you're saying like, don't girls want what they can't get? Like, it wasn't that I was employing some sort of tactic of you can't get me. This is, like I say, an older lady. And it's not like I was trying to go home with her. But she did employ some sort of like masculinity test on me, whether she knew it or not. And really what it was just me being like cool myself. Like, hey, wait, no, dude, I'm not responding to some sort of shit like that. Like, my drink's out. Go get one for me. And I was just like,
be a man.
Be a man.
Now, here's the thing. The more manly thing is to say no. No, I don't feel like doing that. Set boundaries. That's true whether you're dating. That's true whether you are working as a copywriter for a client. By the way, this is a copywriting stream. Who knew? Anyway, so he was at a wedding. This woman expected. He's looking at his phone again. He wants to get laid tonight. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's fine. Anyway, I actually have a kind of similar story. which is that I was dating several people at the time. And what I realized was, well, I dated a woman who expressed to me on a first date, like, I'm very candid on a first date. I'm just like, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. I don't lie. I don't mislead. I'm just like, bleh. This is what I'm about. If you want to continue this, sure. If not, blah. Same is true in my copy. I'm very quick to qualify or disqualify. If you're not a good qualified candidate for dating me, fuck off. If you are, let's make this happen. Sex happens is when you do that. Now, here's the thing. The person I finally found that really like understood what I was all about really resonated with, well, what she couldn't get was a decent person, a person who made her feel valuable, a person who made her feel like she mattered. She had been so used to relationships that fucked her over. She had been so used to relationships that didn't treat her well, that treated her as subservient, that treated her as lesser. And so I gave her something that she couldn't previously get.
Mm.
That's
dope.
A person who cared.
Mm.
That person is now my wife, by the way. You saw her on the stream earlier. And I met her in a year when I was sowing my wild oats. I was doing the dirtiest of things to the dirtiest of people.
Are you sure you'd say that if we weren't drinking? Like, check yourself. Is this how you would talk? I've been like self-monitoring before you go any further, because Sean doesn't openly talk about his dirty days. So I'm just like, I'm being a good friend right now. Like, make sure you don't go too dirty on the stream.
I didn't expect to fall in love the same year that I basically agreed with my previous wife that I wanted to get divorced. I did not expect to fall in love. And part of falling in love was also finding a person who wanted what I had and who had what I wanted. That has led to a marriage that is extremely happy, that has 2 kids, that is going to now invite Kyle out to dinner 3 hours into a very rambling, drunken stream.
It's kind of drunken. This question right here is of utmost importance. This I have to address.
I will back out. You stay right there. That's where the focus is. I manually focus the camera.
Okay. How to be cool with yourself. So this is the topic of today's email if you're on the Copy Squad email list. It's at copysquad.net/4triggers. I'm half joking. I'm half actually real. That's literally what I talk about today. But like,
here's the difference between Kyle and me. When Kyle is just like out in the world and like in real life, he's not like this. When I'm out in the world and I'm out in real life, I'm exactly the way that I am online.
What the fuck am I like out there in the real world?
Like more real, more authentic.
What am I not authentic right now?
I mean, no.
What? What do you mean?
You literally just put on like a vocal affect.
That was a joke.
It was very funny.
It was. So listen.
If you're not laughing right now,
I'm literally like.
If you're not laughing right now, you're not signed up to copysquad.net/light, and you're certainly not signed up to copythatshow.com.
Look, listen. I've poured my guts out. I've told my whole life story on this stream. I've told people how to get girls or some shit. But look, this one right here is a really important one. How to be cool with yourself. I know this one, like, this is one of those weird circular credit card arguments. What I mean by a credit card argument is, how do I get credit? How do I get approved for a credit card if they want credit history? If they all want credit history, how do I get a credit card?
Yep.
That's
how do I get a client if I have no experience?
Yeah, that's that credit card argument. How to be cool with yourself. I'll tell you you sort of a blueprint that you can use, which is it's always repetition. Because win or lose, whatever you determine win or lose to be, repetition will make you realize like the worst isn't as bad as you think. It's not a big deal. And winning actually isn't as great as you think.
Yeah.
So for instance, let's say you decided to just get on Tinder and slay every match that you got. All right, let's call it that. If we're talking because of the dynamic that we're speaking in. Now, I want you to throw all your standards out of the window. I want you to just be like, every match until I get 50. Let's say something like that, right?
This is a real example, by the way.
So listen, it's a real idea. I've not done exactly what I'm describing right now.
He's 20% there.
I've not done exactly what I'm describing. I have definitely put myself out there in such a way where I have learned how to shed the ego that comes with dating. That line I said earlier, I'm happy if it happens, I'm cool if it doesn't. That's what I'm trying to convey to you. Win or lose.
Everybody should have that perspective when they approach dating.
Right. So let's say you say 50 matches. All right. You're going to get 50 matches. And maybe they're not your type, maybe they're not your about it, blah, 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 blah. But you say, I'm going to go on all 50 dates. All right? Some will turn into some stuff. Many will not. But what you'll discover by the end of 50, and I'll tell you what else. I don't play chess. I know the rules of chess, but I don't play chess.
I'm really good at chess.
That's why Sean highlighted this. Go back to my boy. I'm trying to help him. Thanks, Sean's fanboy. All right, so look, what I'm saying is, I have not done 50 days. I have not done. The reason Sean said that was because I sort of had that idea.
Yeah.
Like, because I went through like a breakup, and I was like, I had this. The reason I paused and decided to take this question so seriously is because when I had a big breakup that involved like it wasn't great, and so I needed to get that confidence and bravado and all that shit. I need to get that shit back. So I need to get back out there. I had to sort of like, I decided to do something like this. And I did, it took a couple dates, took a handful of dates to get back on my grind and be like, oh, you know what? I'm actually cool. I'm chill.
Grinder, by the way, which is how we met.
So what I'm telling you is how to be cool with yourself is to put yourself in, set yourself up to have 50 rejections. How about that? Let's call it. Set yourself up to have 50 rejections. You won't reach probably 10. By the time you reach 10, you'll be like, you know what? You'll lose interest in the whole challenge. You'll be like, I'm too cool with myself. Like, I'm too cool with, like, I'm good with this. You've been on the dates, and you're like, you know what? Going out with a girl is not a big deal. Whatever it is, that thing that you're so scared of, by the time you reach rep number 10, call it a promo, call it a date, call it whatever the fuck it is, the arena that you're not cool with yourself, because you can be cool with yourself in Halo tournaments. You could be like the best Halo guy ever, and you're like,
I would say Warhammer 40K.
You could be cool with yourself. You could be big dick energy in Warhammer.
BD.
But then as soon as you go out to the bar to talk to a girl, you're little pee-pee energy, and it's not working for you. So then what you need to do is that should be a cue to you is like, I need to go talk to 50 girls at the bar. By the time you talk to your 10th, 11th girl, you're like, you know what? Some of these girls kind of suck.
Yeah.
And you start to realize, wait a minute, I'm actually pretty chill. I'm actually a pretty successful guy. Wait a minute, like these girls actually need to get their shit together. And you'll take that pressure where you thought that you weren't good enough. And you'll start to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm actually way more put together than I'm more put together than these girls that I put on this pedestal. These people that I thought I needed to win over. No, fuck that. They need to win me over. Like, and it won't come from an arrogant place. It'll come from a secure place.
Yeah. I want to emphasize, listen, I fucking hate dating talk. I don't talk dating talk. I find it disdainful and catastrophically boring. When I was quote unquote sowing my wildest oats. What I discovered about myself was I don't need to be anybody for anyone. Fuck everyone else. I want to be the person that I want to be. And guess what? If that leads to nothing in a date, c'est la vie. Fuck it. But also, once I adopted that attitude, I got a lot of sex. I got so much sex. There was so much sex involved. There was sex in the morning. There was sex in the night. There was sex in the afternoon sometimes in between. There was a week where I slept with 10 different people.
In a week?
In a week.
Now I'm jealous. Shit.
Here's the thing. It was all because I had the confidence to be like, I do what I do.
I thought I was wild. I'm actually not. Sean is wilder than me.
I don't talk about that very often. I've drunk so much over the course of the last 3 hours and 15 minutes.
You're good, dude. You know what it is? 6'1". It's all because of looks. Forget charisma, forget confidence. It's because he's 6'1".
Oh, okay. Copywriting tactic. This is not a strategy. This is not a principle. I derived this tactic from my strategies and principles of copywriting. In my profile for Tinder and Bumble, I put 5 foot 13 inches.
It's funny. I like
It's
that.
funny.
I like that.
It's funny. Women like people who can make them laugh because you care about their feelings.
Mm.
If you can signal that in your profile, you will get dates. You will also, if you can signal what your prospect wants in your copywriting, you will get sales. Blah.
Mm.
Anywho,
I think okay. Let me say something else real quick.
Pokeball.
Or-
Could you guys give some tips to recommend some materials on creating appealing offers,
Oh my
mostly
God.
for info
They wanna
products?
talk about
You didn't
copy?
donate.
I
That
thought we were
person
talking about
showed up
getting
late.
laid over
Yes,
here.
that person showed up late, and they didn't know that if you wanted to ask an off-topic question, you had to actually donate.
Listen, like this one right here. I don't know if this is a troll, but I want to answer it. How can I achieve financial freedom through copywriting?
Get really good.
I aspire to live a life like yours, Kyle, as you are my greatest inspiration. I think
You aspire to live like him. You don't aspire to live in a fucking 7-bedroom, 3-story mansion in Baltimore. You don't aspire to have a wife who loves you, kids who like actually adore you and like run into the room and like say, "Daddy," and then like are excited to see you. And that just fills your fucking heart with glee because you realize that you brought life into this fucking world that actually enjoys your presence on this planet.
no, he wants to live like a guy who doesn't judge him for asking his questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So listen, my friend. So I would say that how can I achieve financial freedom? So Sean did sort of off the cuff, like almost like sarcastically answered get good. But there's a spreadsheet.
GITGUD, by the way.
Get good. So look, there's a spreadsheet that I have for my writers. I'm gonna put this in like a visual for you. There's a spreadsheet that I have at my agency.
You can draw it. It's
for
right
my
here.
writers. Now, let's say Kyle's fanboy. Your name is Steve, whatever your name is. Let's say it's Steve, right?
Fucking
You
Steve.
have there's a Steve area in the spreadsheet, okay? And then under Steve, I would put the name of the promotion, your royalty rate, and then how much money you earn that month. And then under that, I put the name of the promotion, your royalty rate, and how much money you earn that month. Under that, I put the name of your promotion, your royalty rate, and how much money you earn that month. Now, remember that most publishers pay out quarterly. Some of them pay out on the exact
Monthly.
same, like January, February, March. So you'd have like some publishers that all pay out on March, but some pay out monthly, and some of them their quarterly isn't calendar based, but fiscally based on their business. So it can come at other times. So what I'm saying to you is Cody is a good example of this.
Cody is the best example of this.
So Cody is a guy that came in as a junior, getting a junior royalty rate. He still has those promotions from his junior days at his junior royalty rate. They're on the spreadsheet. And every quarter, that little royalty thing comes in. It's a little, it gets smaller every quarter because over time these things decay. But he's adding more rows. He's written more promo.
Has Cody had a hit yet?
So he's got controls. Like, I think
That counts.
Yeah, like
that fucking counts.
he's written a couple up for us. Like today, Aaron Gensler,
Aaron fucking Gensler, the hitman.
Aaron Gensler, the hitman. I saw him not today, yesterday. I saw him at the event, and he sat me down. He said, "Hey, man, I just wanted to say, like, we really appreciate like how much effort you guys put into this promo. It was really well done, and I want to say, Cody specifically did a fucking great job. Like, he fucking called Cody out by name. I had a call with Cody today to tell him, I said, hey, man, I talked to Aaron Gensler. And for folks who don't know in the financial industry, Aaron was the publisher of Seven Figure Publishing. Now he works over at Malden Economics and Risk Hedge. He works with them too. And we sent in a project, and Aaron called Cody out by name and said, I was like really impressed with the work that he had done. He said, how long has he been in the game? How long has he worked with you? And I was like, not a very, very long time, but the dude works very hard. And he said, well, I just want him to know, like, he did a really good job. And so that's ultimately Cody's sixth row on that spreadsheet. And there will be a new number there. So you have to understand that copy is a portfolio, like owning a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks. And some dividends are going to like outshine other dividends. So if you want to achieve financial freedom, the answer is through reps. People will say, how do I get good at copy fast? The answer is you don't get good at copy fast because you're thinking in time frame. Don't think of how long, think of how many. When you start looking at copy,
volume.
Yes, when you start looking at copy through the scope of how many of the volume, and you dismiss the time frame. That's why this chart that I drew earlier, where
3 hours in.
Yeah, the chart was
what
like
is that, a callback?
the population, and the bottom row or the bottom axis is time. These people drop off, fucking shit. These people drop off in like 1 month because they didn't get rich. It's like you haven't stacked any rows in your spreadsheet, you pussy. Like, you have to fucking do some work. And that shit gets me fucking riled up. You think you're just entitled to be a fucking... Do you know how long it took me to be a millionaire? Like, how many fucking 12-hour days I had to put in? You motherfucker, you think you read one book and you should be a fucking 7-figure writer? Do you think everybody just gets 7 fucking figures? If you could just have 7 figures, it wouldn't be very valuable, wouldn't it? So it's like...
Inflation, by the way.
Well, with Joe Biden as president and all, call be 7-figure writers.
Politics. All 16 people who wrote just got very triggered.
Yeah. So anyway, I got a little bit triggered on myself there. But
fine.
like, what I'm saying,
Cody is the dopest, is what we're trying to say.
yeah. But hey, man, I want to shout out because Cody's my boy, and I got him from Sean. Sean said you should talk to this kid Cody.
Yep.
And he is going to go places. He's going to be the guy that you asked this question. Your next profile will be Cody's fanboy. Cody's probably pooping his pants.
Hold on. I'm going to @ Cody in the Discord. By the way, copy that Discord. Also, Kyle Milligan's copy that light. No, that's a W. Hold on. I'm drunk and I can't even type. @ Cody.
I didn't even know what else we'll be doing today.
We are having a good old time. I'm having a good time. Cody, 3 hours and 18 minutes. Minutes. Oh my god, I am drunk because I can't type. I was like fucking disrupting somebody's grammar earlier, and straight up, I'm just like typing the worst thing ever. 3 hours and 18 minutes into this stream, we started
Just let it go.
Stalking
Stalking. You're writing
about
about you. There were so many typos in that, but also I was leaning over, and also I'm so drunk.
We've been having some beers.
Yep, beers.
We
have had so many comments since then. Oh my god, we need to like go have food. No, I want the hairy chest.
You know, okay, wait. This is a perfect comment from this person, and I have a response for this. I have something like real shit, like valuable shit. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. So listen. Stop.
Listen
dude.
to
Don't.
Kyle.
So
so
unnecessary.
uncomfortable.
Look. So listen. Okay, so listen. I'm gonna show you something real quick. This is very important.
Yo.
This is actually legitimately important. This fella asked how to be cool with yourself.
Oh my god, we're going back to that.
Listen.
We need to go eat. My family needs to eat.
I will feed your family. Listen, they said he said how to be cool with yourself, and then I gave the answer. He said, "Holy shit, thanks." Which, by the way, I hope it was very useful for you. I hope that was something that really helped you. And the next thing he said was, "No, I want a hairy chest." So listen, I want to talk about this. Why, dude? No, God. Listen, you're gonna regret these kinds of decisions.
I
once you
regret
sober up.
nothing.
I don't believe you.
I
think.
regret no things.
Mhm.
Kyle, say what you wanted to say. What did you want to say?
I want you to stop doing that.
No, you have to say what you wanted to say.
I don't
But
have
I'm
to
gonna
do
keep
anything.
doing this.
I really want you to stop.
No.
Dude, this is so extra.
Keep going.
Listen.
Keep going. Sorry, what?
No, wait. I got one more knowledge bomb to drop, and then we're all going to dinner. I got this.
All right.
Hairy chest.
Yo.
This is important. This features into the whole argument, the whole conversation. Let me tell you something. Conrado. Listen. One of my favorite compliments that I can get if I lay down with a beautiful woman.
Oh my god.
One of the most favorite things that I can hear ever is, I don't go for guys like you.
Oh god.
I think this feeds in directly to the thing that he was saying earlier about being cool with yourself.
Hmm.
When girls say, I usually don't sleep with dudes shorter than me. I usually don't go for bald guys. I usually don't like beards. And then the one I get, the most common one I get, I do not like hairy chests. They say that I get that all the time. I don't usually go for guys with hairy chests. What that means, God damn it, Sean. Like, dude, I can't.
Oh, please, you have the spread chest all the time.
But I don't fucking rub my goddamn nipples, man.
But they're so hard right now.
Why?
Please finish what you were trying to say.
I'm trying to teach this man some shit about life.
The secret to success is to be confident enough to be just you.
Maybe one
regardless
step
of the
below
context.
that.
Seriously,
One
just
step
regardless
below
of the
that.
context,
Just take
just do
if
your
it's
thing,
here-
man. Literally, I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck, but I act as though I don't give a fuck. That is why I'm tight. Lewis Cole, I'm tight.
Get the fuck
Go look that
out
up
of
on
this
Spotify.
All right, all I'm saying is, I just want to give that one thing. So, here's what I'm trying to say.
What Kyle is trying to say.
Oh, I remember I used to wear joggers with dress shirts. And this girl would be like, you should wear pants, you should wear jeans, you should wear slacks. And I was like, nah, I like my joggers. So, and then we would go out, and then she would be like, actually, you know what? I really like your outfit. And that's what I'm trying to say. The moment that you just take whatever you got, even if I wouldn't,
It's questionable,
I would-
as in me.
I wouldn't do all that at the bar. But I'm saying,
would.
like, when
I
you,
would do that the moment I met someone.
Don't do that. It's not a high probability
The
move.
best pickup I've ever had at a bar was when somebody started sort of jigging a little bit to the Thriller dance, and I knew the entire Thriller dance. I put the Thriller dance on the jukebox,
That's fine.
and then she and I started dancing together. And then guess what? She and I went on several dates, and it was
travel.
and it was wonderful. She was awesome. She's a delightful person, and I hope she is filled and happy. After you.
I'm like, don't say it.
Say whatever you want.
Nah, I can't do it. So, anyway. All right, when no, you did. When Sean said filled and happy, like the first thing I thought of was "Fill me up, Daddy," and I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like filled with. So anyway,
finish this stream, dude. We gotta go eat,
dude. Has a girl ever said "Fill me up"?
No.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Shut the fuck up.
It's so good.
Finish this stream. Close this out. Give a plug to me. Give a plug to you. And then we'll do some stream that is like your stream centric.
Oh, yeah.
More geared towards your audience.
Exactly. And my stream was very professional and none of this horse shit.
Oh, yeah. There will be no drinking involved. There will be no horseplay.
And we will pitch.
We will not shove a horse-sized dildo up either of our asses. We will determine who had that the entire time.
Yes. So, what did you say?
What? I don't know.
So anyway, he said he wants a hairy chest, and I was like, bro, I'm telling you, like my favorite comment or compliment. Here's what I'm saying: when you're hanging out with a girl and you're at the bar and you guys are talking or whatever, or you're on a date, whatever the fuck you guys are doing, and there will be a moment in time when she will, well, if you're doing things right, there will be a moment where she's like, if you have a necklace, perhaps, and there's a charm on it, and she'll want to reach inside your shirt, and she'll reach for the shirt or the charm, but she'll reach for it like this. Ooh, what's this charm about? And then she'll get it. And then she'll comment on like the chest hair, the hairy chest. And she'll say something to the effect of, I don't know, god damn it, stop. And she'll say something to the effect, motherfucker, I'm gonna karate chop you in half.
We're
like
talking about hairy chest
because it's a question, but I think it's super, like it's impactful and meaningful.
Please,
like
please,
you have to understand. Like this is where confidence comes from. Is you understand the steps, you understand the process, you understand what happens when she does this, and you understand where you're at in the whole dance. Like when you get her to a point where she's like, I don't even like guys with hairy chests. Like you won the game.
Yep.
When she says, I don't like dudes that wear joggers, I like dudes that wear blue jeans, and you're wearing joggers, you've won the game. The point is, like, okay, here's another thing. When she says, I want you to wear blue jeans and you're wearing joggers, what she's doing is she's projecting what she liked about her last guy onto you. She's like, this is what I like best. I want to move that on to my new relationship. And whenever you put your foot down in a way and say, no, this is who I am. I'm the new guy. I'm different. I'm not that guy. I'm a different guy. When you do that and she adopts that and says, I like that thing, all of a sudden, like all of a sudden, I like joggers now. All of a sudden, I like hairy chest now. You've won the game. And I've been trying to make this very serious point because it's a self-confidence point, is that the more
I've been trying to disrupt it.
Yeah, he's been disrupting it.
Yeah.
But like when you fucking own that shit, stop. God damn it. When you fucking are just like,
when you just own who you are, when you are confident in who you are,
yes,
people are allured and enticed by you. Guess what? He has gotten dates. I have gotten dates. I've gotten more than dates. I've gotten married and had 2 kids with a wonderful woman. And look, it all comes down from being confident in what you have. Not what you want to be, what you have.
So, there's like 1 or 2 questions here. So Beach Life says, what watch do you have on? So my watch. So I thought about like buying a Rolex or like doing that, like buying like a fancy watch thing. So my watch is a how do I get it where you can see it?
You have to be back here.
It's a Citizen Echo Drive, and this was the
Citizens
watch.
is really good.
I don't know. It's probably not that expensive a watch, but the watch has a story. Like when I passed my CPA exams,
We really need to go to dinner.
my girlfriend at the time bought me this watch.
Oh my god.
So everything, like almost everything on my body has a story associated with it. Like,
Same with me.
so like I don't just buy random shit. That's why I didn't buy the Rolex. Because like with the Rolex doesn't have a story. The Rolex story is I made a bunch of money, so now I'm gonna go like buy a watch.
The story behind this belt that I'm just pulling out of myself right now is because I really like this belt. It's really good. It's a utility belt. You can get it from Amazon. It's like $12. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. That's the clasp. Boom. That is how it's done.
Listen, y'all, here's the thing. Hey, it's Copyright with Cody. We hung out that one time we were on that thing. Hey, this is getting very interesting. Ain't nothing interesting about Sean's nipples.
My nipples are so interesting.
Jeffrey says, Kyle, do you know the YouTube channel first, man? You look exactly like him. Well, I don't. But thank you very much. I assume he's a very handsome man.
Bald, bearded, glasses copywriters. That's where it's at.
I love Citizen. I'm wearing a bullhead. 1975 is awesome. It's not a Rolex.
I own a Shrek watch.
All right, dude. Now for his sake, I got to get him
so
out of
confident that I don't need an expensive watch. I need a Happy Meal watch.
here. Wait, watch this. Look at this. Look at this. Sean's fanboy. Kyle teaches life lesson.
Can we end this stream now? This is too good. That was perfect.
What the fuck? That's the fucking cliff notes of this stream now.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
no, man, no, we gotta stop. And Sean's losing rep points by the second, so I gotta get him out of here.
I'm gaining them. Everybody who likes me for who I am, and anybody who doesn't like me for who I am, fuck off. Go subscribe to some other channel. Anybody who likes you for who you are, subscribe to Copy Squad. Seriously. Go subscribe to him. If you like him and what he has to say, subscribe to him. If you like me and what I have to say and my vigorous rubbing of nipples, subscribe to me and copy that, where we have amazing stuff that you can access if you go to patreon.com/thecopythatshow. You can also go to how to join. You go to patreon.com/thecopythatshow. You can buy our most recent product that we just released, which is this copythat.myclickfunnels.com/marketing-strategy-complete.com.
So, all right, we're gonna go get some food. I'm gonna eat a cheeseburger. We're gonna have some drinks, and then, hey man, oh my God, it's almost 4 hours. We were supposed to do this from
We were supposed to be so strategic. Some of this was going to go on the Copy That channel. Some of this was going on his channel. We were going to be good, but we got drunk, and then we got heated, and then we started talking to people. Oh my God, we fucked up.
All right, y'all. Yo, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you found this valuable. And until next time, peace out, Copy Squad.
Peace out. People who love Copy That, and I hope you're doing well. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful.
That's your
fulfilling life.
sign off?
I hope you have a wonderful, fulfilling life too.
Peace out, Copy Squad.